I don't think they ever did Paulie right.
Yeah, he was a goon.
Yeah, but they should have been better to Paulie.
He wasn't ever going to be a made man.
Paulie's made, isn't he?
Is he? I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure Paulie was a made
I think
guy.
he's just a hit man. It's a great series, though.
Paulie.
Did you finish Friends and Neighbors? That's a good one,
I haven't even started it.
Oh, it's great.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Higdon Outdoors. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
I didn't know you were going that route. I have a promo code that you can use to build your next waterfowl spread. Big Honker. Very difficult to remember.
So go to their...
Go to Higdon Outdoors to buy something. Use our promo code Big Honker. Save a little bit of money.
There you go. Knock it out. Get down there and go to Higdon. And Big Honker on the Higdon. Come out
One
here and
word.
hunt with us this year, and you can hunt over some Higdon spread.
All one word.
With us today.
Oh, and before we get started, Paulie was a made man.
He was a made man. We were
He was a
discussing
made
the
man.
Sopranos.
He served as a high-ranking soldier enforcer, eventually a captain under Tony Soprano.
He was the goon.
He's funny.
I don't think they could ever redo the Sopranos because I don't think you could come up with a cast of characters that would be like the original ones.
They were talking about the Jews. Called them Hasidim Jews. He said, I see them, but I don't believe them. just cracked me up.
You know, it's crazy. How long ago is it?
1999
was when the
season
Sopranos
one.
out. It's 1999, 27 years ago.
And I guess they went through all the same stuff that every series that has success does, because I was looking back. 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, and then they had the layover. So
What do you mean the layover?
several years in between seasons.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it went to 04, or it's 2002, then they took 2 years off, and then it was 04, and then 06.
I bet they were at a money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just like every good series eventually gets to this crossroads. They have some success, and then...
How much money was Gandolfini making per episode the last couple of years? That is an amazing series. I'm telling you right now, if you had to list your top 5 shows ever on TV, where would you put it at?
He was making $1 million an episode. It says right here, early season, 30 to 50K per episode.
Wow. Hell of a raise.
And then, like I said, season 4, they negotiated 400 per episode, and then the final season he got up to $1 million an episode, making him one of the highest paid TV actors of the time.
What name? Top 5.
So that's interesting because I was thinking about this. So my family's out of town. I restarted The Sopranos. I'd watched it when I was in y'all's house in high school because it ended in 06. It's interesting how television has changed because it's not binge worthy. It was a weekly episode. It came out every Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like when you binge the episodes, so much happens. Like it's a better weekly show than it is going one episode burning through it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-mm. I'd rather binge watch them.
I don't know. It was a good weekly show, but I watched 2 episodes yesterday and I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of done with The Sopranos for the day. Whereas like the way television has changed with Netflix and everything, there's a lot of series out there where it's like, let's go on to the next one and just keep going. Try to burn through it all as fast as we can.
So, top 5.
Yeah, it's top 5.
Name your top 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rescue Me.
That's number 1 for you?
Yeah, I love Rescue Me, Peaky Blinders. The Shield was really, really good at the time. Haunting.
See, that's one I can't watch more than 2 or 3 at a time.
But that's what I'm saying.
I like it.
I think television has changed.
Well, maybe it has because I'm about 2 or 3 of them and I'm done for the day.
The Haunting of Hill House. I'd put Haunting of Hill House number 1.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a great show. And then Widow's Bay.
Never seen that.
It's on Apple TV. It just came out.
My number one would probably have to be The Sopranos.
And it might be. Like I said, it's been a long, long time since I've watched the entire series of The Sopranos. So it might creep up there for me.
I mean, it was one of them. It was so iconic that the last episode, everybody watched to see if Tony Soprano was going to get killed. And it ended in such a jacked up way. And if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I've
you
seen
need to watch it. I know you have, but somebody listening. The Sopranos is number one for me. Number two for me is The Wire, which I think is, you haven't seen that? Oh, you've got to watch The Wire. Wire's number two. Shameless is three for me because I love Shameless.
You like gay sex?
No, that really don't do it for me, but I like the show. That's my top three. And then there's a lot of them that I could fill in. I thought Hell on Wheels was really good.
Never seen it.
It's very good. I thought there's just a ton of them that could be number five. But those would be my top. Those would probably be my top four, and I'm forgetting about something. I'm watching The Shield right now. I've never gotten into Peaky Blinders. I don't know why I can't get into that. And there's been some other ones I've watched where that's it. But no, our guest today,
The Savior,
is my mom had a smart kid, a good-looking kid, and then she had a dumb, ugly one, and that's Tony. So anyways.
That's no way to be.
That's why I'm introducing him.
Tony Soprano, Tony Stanfield, two great men of power.
Tell me.
The two OGs.
Yeah, the two Tonys.
I've never seen The Sopranos, so I can't say anything.
You've never seen The Sopranos?
I'm watching Little House on the Prairie.
Anthony.
Name your top five.
Gunsmoke,
Gunsmoke, okay.
Andy Griffith,
Okay.
Andy Griffith is up there.
The Waltons.
Ugh,
I've never seen the Waltons.
don't. Tony and my mom are shacking up
like
together.
Leave It to Beaver?
My mom
I
got out
haven't
of
seen that.
No, is the Waltons like Leave It to Beaver?
Waltons
No.
would be like Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, okay.
Bonanza.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like Banana. It's just in the early 20s, the family life in the early 20s, struggling to make a living. And
What show would you ask about?
The Waltons?
Yeah.
I've never seen the Waltons.
Probably the 30s.
late 20s to early 30s. That's when it was.
Depression days?
Yeah. Started out like 29 and then went to
It went all the way to
34,
World War
35.
II.
After World War II.
So it would probably be mid 30s it started.
Right. Early 30s to... No, that's right. Mid 30s to...
It was a really good series. It was one of those ones that was on TV once a week, was a big hit before they had all the streaming shit, of course. Tony, my mom got out of a nursing home and she lives with Tony. So Tony and my mom have been watching TV and she's been watching the older stuff.
Exactly. She lives with me.
Would she like The Sopranos, you think? It's not that.
Yeah. She likes
think
stuff
she
like
would?
that.
Yeah, I think so.
Other than the boobs.
I don't think boobs bother her none.
They're in every episode in the early days.
There's
Shit,
nothing
maybe I
wrong
ought to watch it.
Well, he owns a strip club, I guess.
with that. The
doesn't
Bada
he?
Bing.
Right.
He owns it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Because
think
he's in
there's-
waste management. So
I think
didn't
there's an
know where
actual Bada Bing too.
Maybe. But yeah, every episode, there's girls dancing. She might like it. I don't know. I don't know Chris's taste in music.
She's Italian.
No, she's CSI all day long until I get there.
She loves all the murder stuff.
all the murder shows.
Oh yeah, she's all about that. The worst show that we grew up, my mom used to watch, I couldn't stand, was Murder, She Wrote. Angela Lansbury. I hated that show.
Why don't you like that show?
I just didn't. It just an old nosy ass woman. Everywhere she goes, someone gets killed. Told my mom, I said, I'm starting to think maybe she should be a little suspect in this crap.
Maybe she's it.
Yeah, I said, she goes, oh, Jeffrey.
I'm gonna get awful nervous if mom starts walking around the house with a knife.
Yeah.
A trivia question for you two guys.
Okay.
What state has the most diners in it?
Most diners?
New York. New York State.
No.
Diner. I want to say a southern state. Georgia.
Nope.
California.
Nope.
Oh.
I'll give $20 if you can get it in the next 3 picks.
Most diners. Texas.
No.
Nebraska.
No. Fuck no.
Florida.
No.
Okay. Well, that was my
All right,
first
we're
one.
out of guess.
New Jersey. There's more diners in New Jersey than any other
That was my
state.
next guess.
I have a hard time believing that.
Look it up then. I heard this on the Will Kane show the other day. That's
Well, that
how I
don't
knew
make it right.
There's 650 of them, I think, is what it was in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Okay.
Diner capital of the world, boasting about 500 to 520 operating diners.
Okay.
That is wild.
So is this the last name is Diner?
No,
Like
just
Tony's Diner?
no. Well, just I don't know
What's the
what's
difference between a
classic.
diner and a cafe?
I don't know. Which state has the most cafes? You think?
It depends on the difference between a diner and a cafe.
I don't know that answer.
Difference in a diner and Cafe. Probably coffee. Diner is a classic American restaurant serving hearty all-day comfort food like burgers, breakfast platters, often in retro booth. Cafe is a cozy coffee-focused establishment that primarily serves beverages and light, simple meals
Bud's
like
Cafe.
pastries and sandwiches. So that's your difference. Technically, Bud's was probably a diner.
What is the cafe capital of the world then? Or most state with the most cafes?
Well, I'm burning up. Cafe capital
With coffee, probably Florida.
United States.
I started thinking that was it with all the retired people down there.
Austin, Texas. I need to type in state.
It's probably gonna be Texas then.
Or Oregon. Or Washington. Because Seattle was up there. No, California. 9,200. New York State is a distant second, around 4,000 cafes.
Second. That's a big difference.
About half. So yeah, 2,000. 9,000 in California, 2,000 or 4,000 in New York State.
All right, Tony's on here, so we're going to talk conspiracy theories because Tony always wears the tin hat.
What the UFC event? I know neither one of you watched it, but they did. There was a big terrorist plan. I'm assuming that was all domestic. That was not anybody sleeper cells from overseas. From what we know.
I don't know a lot about it, but I know that there was one of the kids was 18 or 19.
Yeah, mom turned him in.
He spent the $2,000 he got for his high school graduation buying guns and bullets, and
They were going to do drones
I had heard they was going to do drones
and force everybody out.
and drop explosives from the drones and force everybody out at an exit, and they was going to have snipers across the road.
24 people have been arrested, I think. Last I saw was like 24 people. I don't know if that number's changed today.
Yes, that's what I had heard yesterday.
Yeah.
They were going for Trump, J.D. Vance, Benjamin, and Musk. The people.
Musk wasn't there. Benjamin who?
Not Benny.
He wasn't there.
I'm just telling you that was their plan.
That was their targets.
That was their
said
intended
something.
targets.
High-profile government people and wealthy billionaires.
See, they had said, because there was like, I know y'all didn't watch the event. So the way that they had it set up, there was like, I want to say 8,000. Maybe that number's wrong. Maybe it's 4 around the cage. So just a small number of people around the cage. And then you back up a couple hundred yards and there was like 80,000 people there. And I had seen that they were going to drop drones over the arena and then explosives into the crowd and then just start picking everybody off as they came out. Did they ever, like, I'm assuming how far did they get to doing this?
I think the mom called in on the kid.
Like, like June 5 or something like that.
And they,
So they never even got to DC.
A couple of them
a
did.
couple of them did.
Okay.
They were here. I just read up some more on it. What they planned on doing was they was going to send these drones in that's got the ballistics on them. They were going to blow stuff up, and I guess they had a plan of where the Secret Service was going to take everybody to, like you said, and they were going to do it. And they were going to swarm them with sniper attacks for there to shoot at them. They even had plans on if anybody got caught, they were going to go into the jail to break them out. And they said it'd be such a response in Washington trying to get to places that they would be able to overtake some jails, and even they thought they could overthrow some jails even. They had a place in Missouri, a 6-acre wooded lot that they had underground bunkers built, and that's where they planned on going to hide for, and they could fight their way out of it if possible. It's one of those things that there's no way you're going to get past our government on this stuff. The 1950s and 60s and 40s, Bonnie Clyde days, or even the 30s, you could get by with stuff.
Well, if the mom hadn't turned them in, what would it do?
Have you not seen Olympus Has Fallen?
I'm talking about being able to get away with it. There's no.
I don't know that they planned on getting away with it.
No, they thought they could get to this wooded fort and could hold up there for a while. What I'm saying is, in today's world, you cannot deceive the government like that because of drones and stuff and electronic communications and jamming devices. It's not like back in the old days where you could go hide off in the woods and still be talking to people. They can. I mean, hell, they tracked a guy in Iraq through a heartbeat in a cave.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that you could. I'm not saying they can't do a terror attack. They could do that. They could have done everything they planned on doing. But getting away and being able to take on our government and do sniper attacks, like what's that show where the guys, the Wolverines, Red Dawn.
Right.
You're not going to be able to do that stuff ever again.
No.
There's no way with all the heat.
I mean, you wouldn't think. It depends on what kind of inside help they might have.
No. I'm talking about once they get on the trail of you, you're not going to be able to do commando attacks and get away.
No.
You're not going to hole up in the mountains somewhere and be able to come down and do attack in a city, then go hide in the mountains somewhere else.
I mean, look, the surveillance they have on Iran right now, imagine what's above us in our country.
Yeah, those drones we see flying over here all the time,
yeah,
they're all over the United States.
Yeah.
You know?
Trying to find a picture of it. But this, so that crane right there, they had snipers and they had all sorts of, oh, hell.
I don't know how the kids thought they were going to get to this event to where they could.
That's not, but during the event,
those
was
were snipers.
All snipers and snipers.
And I'm sure they had probably some type of an electronic device that would, anything flying above it's going to scramble it.
Right.
But that's true. I don't think those kids had the sophistication on their $3,000 budget to get a drone that's going to be able to fly without getting jammed.
Right.
And
but if it falls out of the sky, is it going to detonate? If it's loaded with explosives, even if they jam it and it falls out of the sky,
I don't think they're
never going to get over the top of them.
No, I think they would have kept them probably 100,000 yards away from them. Here's the thing. I don't think those kids could ever got somewhere at a motel room with windows overlooking that event where they could have had rifles in them. Somebody wasn't going to notice
looking
them.
at it.
Right.
I heard something really interesting the other day. They were talking about the wind farms that they were wanting to build off the coast up there. And they said that if them wind farms, they could fly low-level drones through them, and they won't pick them up on radar because of the signals and stuff that the wind turbines send off.
I can see that. Did you see on the new data center? Now, this is going to be some data center here. I don't know how true this is. Andy, don't like this because I heard this somewhere. I didn't hear it. I read this. That the temperature around the data centers is 16 degrees, the ground temperature, 16 degrees warmer than like a mile away.
Are you sure you're not thinking about solar?
No, this was the data centers. Look it up. It's there. I promise you. I read it yesterday.
I read a deal yesterday that said there's an identical map of the drought-restricted areas in our country, and that's where all the data centers are going.
Yeah, but remember the old wind farm too?
I was correct, wasn't I?
There's a lot of wind farms on places it rains.
There's a lot of wind farms where it don't rain.
So you still think the wind farms jack the weather up?
Yeah.
I think you're crazy. I think the solar farms are going to cause
we
more
have not had the big thunderstorms come from Sweetwater like we used to.
Well, this year they've all been tracking west of us and going north.
Well, maybe they.
But there's wind farms
maybe the
all
wind
over
turbines
out
have
there too.
trained them.
I think the solar farms are going to do more to the atmosphere than the wind farms, because you can't tell me that they're building a 640 acres of solar farms that the temperature is not going to be warmer above them than it is without.
I think all of it is. They talk about man-made global warming. They're creating man-made global warming. The windmills, the solar farms, the data centers.
But why are we doing it then? Because Trump has said like he doesn't necessarily believe in global warming. I just don't know why Trump is letting this in.
Because we're trying to be ahead of China, so we don't wake up and they're running all the AI everywhere and everything's going through China. Is exactly why.
So our AI can overtake their AI.
So just pay whatever the expense is to our landscape and forget about it?
I think that he's thinking 20 or 30 years down the road, whoever's going to charge the AI is going to be running the world.
But let's say it does change. Let's say it's hotter. New evidence supports, this is from Forbes, new evidence supports data centers may cause hotter weather. Okay. They're putting it into places like we've talked about. There's drought restrictions on a lot of these places. So he just says, to hell with it. We'll worry about water and climate change at a later date.
Well, I can't tell you what he's thinking because a lot of stuff he puts out there I would never put out.
But that's what I'm saying.
I think it's just trying to be ahead of China. I think he's thinking that 30 years down the road, when AI is running everything in the world, we don't want it to have to go through Shanghai, is what I think he's thinking. We'll be in charge this way.
We won't have any water, and the ground's going to be hot.
I don't think the water, one rainy season, will refill all the lakes from building the data centers.
It's the aquifers that I'm worried about, not the lakes.
Well, you're right there.
Because I think the Ogallala aquifer is down to like 50 years or something like that.
I thought it was like 30 years.
It ain't much. How long does the Ogallala aquifer? 50 years. Up to 70% of the aquifer could be depleted within the next 50 years.
But what would fill it back up? That's what I'm saying. If we got into a 3-year rainy season, it's like lakes out here. Our lakes go down. We have one rainy spring. We can have 1 month of rain and fill everything back up. And we're all back to good
Well,
again.
it don't fill it up. It just regenerates a little bit.
On what? The aquifer?
The aquifer,
But I'm talking
yeah.
about the lakes. Like our lake water will fill back up.
Yes.
Real fast. I've seen our wells here on a wet year recharge a bunch.
It would take 6,000 years to replenish through natural rainfall to replenish the Ogallala aquifer. 6 to 10,000 years.
Well, I don't know where the water's going to come from other than natural rainfall.
Well, it filled up through the Ice Age. When all
We've been draining it since the Ice Age. Then.
No, I'm just saying it filled up because of all the melting glaciers and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. So it was max capacity then.
I guess.
And so we've been taking water out of it for 100 years probably.
You're punching above my weight class here. Dude.
I didn't realize how big of an area it covered.
It's huge.
It goes from Minnesota or Canada to
It goes basically
Texas
to West
Panhandle.
Texas.
It goes to Mexico. I mean,
it goes all the way to Mexico.
it's huge. No, I lied. It goes to right there.
Which one is that the whole thing yet?
Here, clear up to South Dakota. That's a shitty picture, but
Well, put that back up there. I want to look at something real quick.
okay. Well, I had to look because gray is the aquifer, and you can't see the gray on here. So basically, it starts here at South Dakota, lower part of South Dakota, and it goes to right here.
What is all this yellow blue stuff here?
Declines.
Okay, that's funny, but look here in West Texas, it's increased.
Yeah, just right here though,
Well, even up there around Lubbock, it's increased a little bit.
but
A little
not
splurge, but then it goes down.
eastern Nebraska. It has, but right over here, red is 40% decline. So
Means
It's
they've got
down.
lots of straws in it.
yes, especially right there. But I think when you kind of cross this line right here, you kind of get natural rainfall, so you don't have to turn on your pivots as much, right?
I asked Blake how much rain he's had.
Well, yeah, he's right there.
But how much of them areas that's in blue are like wildlife refuges or,
Well, that's
federal?
all under the ground.
No, I know that, but I'm saying if it's a federal refuge, they're not going to have pivots on it, and they won't be sucking it out of it.
Right.
We're going to have to make a decision in our country one day about food or other things with our water. I mean, it's going to come down to eating and drinking, and that's it. Because, and I'm going to use cotton as an example. We need cotton, but the millions of gallons of water that's put on the ground for cotton, is that worth it too? I mean, that's going to have to come a
can't
decision.
eat cotton.
That's right. I mean, so that's one of those crops that they're spending a lot of water on, and 160 acre pivot running for 50 days during hot days in summer in Texas. That's a whole lot. It's millions and millions of gallons of water.
But
too.
they don't think about that when they talk about the data center water.
No, but it's the same. I had a farmer one time tell me that one time about water. I just take the wastewater, put it on the ground to build a water hole for a duck or a goose. It takes 2 days to fill it up, and that's it. And then you recharge it like once every 2 weeks. You run it for 8 hours, it fills back up again. Well, that's kind of a waste of water. It's the way we make a living. So to us, it's not a waste. But if you plant it and you run it, you're running a whole lot more water to plant cotton or whatever, and we don't ever talk about that. So the people in the data centers, they're like, well, shit, we're going to use 1 million gallons of water. But that farmer's going to use 5 million gallons of water for 160 acres of cotton or whatever it is. You can look up what 160 acres of cotton on putting 3 inches of water at irrigation level is, and it's millions of gallons. It's shocking if you ever know how much.
Yeah,
it is.
because some of those well or pivots are pumping 400 to 800 gallons a minute.
Yep. And then you get into like the data center deal, and they're putting water on the ground to build roads and stuff with. Well,
Mixing cement and
it's water. I mean, it's all the same thing, and so everybody wants to do it what they think needs to be done. Who
I think
owns?
it's the devil that you know.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Who owns the water? Do you own the water? If you own your surface rights, is that your water below there, or does the water belong to the public?
Indian tribes.
A lot of Indian tribes say they do. In Oklahoma, they got a deal that says they own from the stars to the ocean, the sea below. But I mean, really, honestly, who owns that water? If you own 80 acres, and is that your water, or does the public in town that don't own any land at all, is that part of their water? I mean, that's the problem you get into, is who really owns the water.
Should it be minerals? I mean, that's
I don't know. T. Boone Pickens, he bought a lot of water rights up in the Panhandle years and years and years ago. And he said in the 80s that water is going to be the next big, great commodity. And every time we go through a drought, he looks like he's smart. Then it rains and fills stuff up, and people forget. And that's the same with cities. You're on the water board. What's water at? 60% right now, Lake?
It's close to 70.
Nobody's panicking at all right now.
No, we got enough water for years.
For 5 years, probably.
Probably, yeah.
But water gets down below 30%, people start panicking.
Right.
But then as soon as we get a big rain and it gets to 80, 90% again, nobody ever talks about water. That's why we don't build lakes ever. Because when during a drought, everybody wants to build a lake, and by the time you get to the point people are going to start building a lake, bam, it rains and fills everything up. Everybody will kick the can down the road to the next generation.
And a lot of red tape too.
More than it should be for most everything.
Building a lake, it's expensive. There's a lot of red tape, so I mean, it's not very simple.
It's a 30-year plan.
Well, I mean, and then you got to get the land, you got to buy it, you got to purchase the land, and it's just kind of a nightmare. I didn't realize. So, like you said, I am on waterboard, and like when they were building the lake, everybody was split on it.
Oh, it was a big battle out here.
Big. Like there were.
Is it over the? Why were they fighting then?
It was close to like 50%.
What was the fight about?
They didn't want to give up. They just didn't want to have it.
and now they're regretting they didn't build it a mile downriver.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was such a taboo subject. Like it's about like the data centers. Like people were split out here on whether or not they should build it, where it should be, who should be the member cities. It was a big deal. Like they've got, it's been a couple months since we talked about it, but I mean, there were like newspaper articles written about it, like don't let this in, and got pretty nasty out here during the 50s.
Okay.
Filled up pretty quick too, didn't it?
I think overnight.
Yeah, but I think it had been built for a while.
Yeah,
I basically filled up overnight.
They said that rain that filled it up, the water went over the bridge here on the Brazos.
Right.
I can't. We've seen some big ass rains here before, but we've never.
The big Highway 6 bridge.
No, the bridge right here by the lodge on 222.
220.
No, not the little one. No,
the river. Okay.
Yeah, like by
222.
On 222.
Okay. Because I've seen it go over the
little bridge.
The little bridge.
Yeah, but the big bridge over here, they said it went over it.
That's what we need to fill the
That'll fill the aquifer up. Okay, $20. Here's your chance to win $20. If you can come within 500,000 gallons, I'll give you a $20 bill. How many gallons of water are needed to apply 3 inches of rain on 160 acres? 3 inches of water.
3 million.
Andy?
No.
Well, Andy's already saying no, so he's already called you a loser.
I'm trying to do the math in my head.
How are you going to do the math on this? 3 inches. Do you know how much 1 inch is?
I can look back at what Blake sent me.
He's going to cheat.
How much you think?
A
quarter of a section of land, 160 acres.
1.7. 1.8.
First of all,
1.9.
You made fun of Tony.
Yeah.
And you're not even to where Tony was. And Tony's way off. 13 million gallons.
For a 3 inch.
To put 3 inches of water on 160 acres.
Let me look at what Blake said.
Now, Blake's smarter than the computer.
Yeah. He's in it.
Okay. 160 acres.
Are you asking Jeeves?
No, I did on Yahoo. Yeah. 43,500 square feet equals 6,969,000 square feet. Volume 6,969,600 square feet times 0.25 feet equals 1,742,400 cubic feet. Convert cubic feet to gallons. You were going to do this on your head, huh?
I was trying.
Okay. Total gallons.
I was almost there.
Is 1,742,400 cubic feet times 7.48 gallons / cubic feet equals 13,036,832 gallons of water needed to apply 3 inches of water over 160 acres.
And how often would you do that?
I'm just talking. Well, that's if you do 3 inches of rain. Some of these guys are going to pump 6 to 9 inches of rain probably on their crop. I don't know.
You're talking about over a crop
on a
period?
pivot. On a pivot.
Right.
That's just 3 inches. If you use I'm just talking about how much water is used on just crops.
Right.
We don't notice that. We don't think about that.
Because it feeds America.
So search to find out how much water they irrigate for cotton overnight. Like every irrigation, is it 1 inch?
I don't have a clue. Just put down 160 acres of cotton. How much? 3 inches of rain is not much on that. That's probably.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, are they putting an inch every day on it?
I don't know.
Inches every day?
I don't have a clue.
Because I know a lot of these pivots are running constantly.
24/7. And it depends what kind of usage water of gallons per minute you have too.
Right.
It says about 1/4 of an inch per week during peak growing season.
I would think it would be more than that, or it would dry up even.
You don't believe the computer now?
No, no. I would think it would be more than that though.
I would
1/4 of
think
an
that-
inch per week.
Yeah, I mean that's the number that I'm getting. Translates to roughly an inch. No. Translates to roughly 1 million gallons per day for the entire field. Hefe.
I know. I'm trying to think.
So I thought you said 3 days worth.
No, just 3 inches of water.
Right. See, I was going 1 million gallons a day. I figured 3 days.
No, but it was 13 million gallons is what it takes to 3 inches on a field. Right. So let's just say you put 3 inches on a field in a season. A data center is getting what, 1 million gallons? Ain't that what they need? Is 1 million gallons on their closed loop
5
system?
million a day.
A month. You need 30,000 a day.
How much a day?
30,000.
30,000 a day would be 900,000 gallons.
I thought it was 5 million a day at one time.
It's 30,000 a day.
The one in Kroll they needed. It was more water than what the people in Kroll would use. I can't remember what it was, like 5 million gallons or something. But let's say they use 10 million gallons. That's still less than what you're going to, in just 160
Oh, the pivots
acres.
are going to, right.
Yeah. How many pivots out here are pumping all the time?
That's right.
It says cotton typically requires 12 to 24 inches of water per acre, compared to 24 to 30 inches an acre for corn.
So 12 inches rain of water.
However you're going to do it.
That would be 52 million gallons on
Over
160 acres on a growing season of cotton.
Unless-
Of corn.
What is that,
Unless
90 days?
cotton.
Unless it rains.
3 months?
Yep.
Unless it rains.
Right.
The average corn crop water use requires approximately 0.3 inches per day at tassel. However, the average daily water use in the Texas High Plains is approximately 0.3 instead of 0.35 per day for 2 months. In comparison to cotton, it's 2.8 per day. So, but I don't like seeing cotton planted. It does nothing for us.
No, I'm not.
And we can get it cheaper from China. Jeff,
I don't know about all that.
see there?
I think Brazil.
But what's crazy is, have y'all seen that you can't use leftover seed? You can't it's gotta be like patented. You gotta buy
The cotton seed.
Yeah, or like any seed, corn, Milo.
Right. I didn't know corn was the same way.
I think it is
I know cotton is that way because they've got a patent on the blends.
They had like a big lawsuit. I think it was in Minnesota. A guy, he had a fallow field and the wind blew, and part of the patented seed blew into his field, and like they took the guy to court.
And what sucks is all these other countries,
Yeah,
they don't have to do that shit.
that. Like
Yeah.
you can just use seed that from leftover.
That's
or
that
wherever,
shit that Monsanto and Bayer has got.
Right. They patented everything, and now they screwed you into having to buy that stuff all the time or buy it from them. So, I mean, it's just another piece of red tape that we got to get through here.
Just like the big pharma crap.
That's exactly right.
So, what do you think's going on in Iran, Tony? Because
I think there's more going on behind the scenes than what people realizes. I think you can't tell me for 6 weeks we've had that many troops over there and we haven't done anything. we had that pilot, the airplane go down, and 2 pilots was in there, and they took 2 C-30 Galaxy transport planes, 400 troops, and landed in the middle of Iran, and went in there to get those 2 guys. They had to leave the 2 big planes and come out. I'm the conspiracy theorist I think we're extracting the uranium.
they say it's buried under a mountain of stuff.
Well, I mean, why would you take 2 big C-30 Galaxy airplanes in there?
I thought they would just done that to get those guys out.
Well, they could say a lot of things. I'm just what I'm thinking of.
Why didn't they take the planes out?
I think the runway was too soft and they couldn't land or couldn't take off once there was landed.
So do we just blow them up when we left?
I think they just blew them up. But that's what I think's going on. I think we've got special ops going on in that country right now. And you can't come out and tell them what they're doing. The damn Democrats, if you did, they would go over there and tell the world what we're doing this and we're doing that.
Do you think that the money that Obama gave them, do you think they bought uranium from Russia with that?
No, I think Obama probably gave them uranium.
You think he sent them uranium?
I think he did.
You don't
I think
think
that's
a
why Trump wants
whistleblower
to get
over
out.
here would say nothing?
Well, I think,
Or do you think they all
remember
been
when Hillary
killed?
Clinton and uranium won and all that stuff took place?
Yeah.
I think that's the uranium that came from here they sent over there. What gets me is everybody on the left bitches about Trump's doing this and Trump's doing that. Obama gave them $1.8 billion in cash. How did he come up with that? That wasn't his cash. Congress didn't okay that. Why does he get a free pass?
Because he was black?
But you see what I'm saying? I mean, you know.
Hold on. Before anybody gets on me being racist, Obama got a free pass because he was the first black president.
Well, they throw the
He
race
was a
card. You're doing this 'cause he's
terrible
race.
president.
Yeah.
Terrible president. There's some things that he done that's probably pretty good.
What?
I think he done some really good things with the. We saved a bunch of companies like the car dealers. Ford, and Ford did it on its own. They didn't take the. They
General
stayed
Motors.
together. General Motors would have been underwater, and I think we should let them go anyways because I get sick and tired of us saving certain jobs just for certain things, and that was to buy votes from the union people. I think.
Didn't Bush save somebody too?
I don't have a clue.
I thought that was Bush. I thought that all happened before.
No,
that's
no.
Bush. That was in 2008 whenever Bush was leaving.
Because
Right, I thought it happened before Obama. I thought it happened at the last stages of the Bush.
Well, that's when everybody went bankrupt.
Yeah.
The big banking debacle.
And then in 12, the big thing was Bin Laden's dead, but General Motors is alive or whatever the hell it was. That was their big saying.
I don't believe the Bin Laden deal either.
What do you mean?
I don't think they killed him. I think he was in Iran. I think that's part of the reason they paid them money. I think he was staying in Iran, and they had the goods on him, and I think that's part of the reason that some of that was paid for.
I had a guy sitting right in your chair
I remember.
that was there, that sat there and watched Bin Laden for 30 days before
Right.
they took him out. He says he's dead. I'm going to believe him because he seems like a good dude.
Well, he was a good dude, but he might have been on the take.
That guy's not on
I'm
the
just
team.
kidding. I don't.
When he
I
comes
don't-
here again, I'll tell him that.
I might go outside and take him.
That's some bitch stout, Tony.
I go outside and wrestle him. I've been watching it on TV. I know what to do.
So
I just think there's a lot of stuff going on in Iran that we don't know about. Trump is a genius. He's a smart guy. He's not going to just roll over and let them take advantage of us.
what's funny is now everybody's saying, well, we're just going to get, who's going to pay him the $300 billion? I watched J.D. Vance yesterday, was on The View.
Right.
I didn't watch The View, but I saw the clips from it. He was on The Five yesterday, and I watched it.
Right.
And he's a really good speaker. I don't think he's going to be our next president. I think Marco Rubio is going to be our next president. And I don't know if J.D. Vance, Trump's not going to be our next president. And J.D. Vance, I don't even know if he's going to run. I don't have a clue. But he's a sharp guy, and I heard him. He did a really good job talking to people, and he was in a very hostile environment at The View and done a really good job. But he said the $300 billion. He said, I don't even know where they come up with this. He goes, I was in the room when we talked about it. We are not giving them $300 billion. And then I saw Trump this morning say, he goes, we're not giving $300 billion. He said, there's going to be some avenues for people to invest in Iran, $300 billion. But they're going to have to play by our rules. And we're going to see how it goes before we give them anything investments.
Well, what I think is funny is the left is coming out blasting the agreement. Nobody knows what's in the agreement.
Tomorrow they go through it.
I think, but Schumer came out talking about it's a secret deal. Well, how's it a secret deal? You're going on talking about all the details in it, but now you're telling everybody that it's a secret deal. You don't know what's in it,
Right.
So why in the hell is everything you're pushing things that's in the public that's not actually there.
We are so anti-American on the left. I saw them where they asked, and this had nothing to do with politics. It was soccer, and they asked those people. They said, "Who are you going for in soccer?" And these others in other countries. You live in America. You are paid to be a politician in America. You should be America first.
That's right.
I don't give a shit where you're from. If we're Italian. We have Italian blood in us. I wouldn't be for Italy. I'd be for the United States of
and
America.
that's what gets me is they come here and wave their flag.
Yes.
If our country is so bad, stay in your fucking own country. You know?
Grandpa Cordy told me years ago they weren't allowed to speak Italian in their house. He
Right.
could speak it because I asked him, "Can you still speak it?" He goes, "I understand it." And he said, "But when I was little, we weren't allowed to speak Italian. We came to America. we were going to speak America. We were speaking English. That's what we were supposed to do, to be Americans.
Right.
That was what we were proud to be, an American. Not that we weren't proud to be Italian anymore, but we're Americans. America first. And that's the way it should be with all these people.
What gets me is people like Ilhan Omar. They come over here. They want to change our country. Why don't they stay in their country and change their country? You know?
Yeah, because their countries are shitholes.
No, I know that. But I'm just saying, all these people wants to change America. Leave us the hell alone. Back to your country.
Well, you don't want me to tell you what I think is going to be here in 50 years. 50 years from today, when we have our 300th birthday, we will not be a Christian nation.
No.
We will be
They're lucky to make another 10 years or 5 years.
We will be a Muslim nation.
And I think that's what's going on in New York right now. I think he is.
You don't know what?
I think that Europe is going to be a big. I think what we're seeing play out in Europe. I think people are going to tune into here.
They better
hurry up and do it
fucking fast. We
have weapons here.
That is one thing. I will give you that. But the problem is the power of the pen that signs legislation, and they are quickly taking over. Like I saw, and this is going to happen in England right now. The mayor of London is England. The head of security in Britain is England.
Muslim.
Muslim. I'm sorry. The head of security in Britain or for the UK is now a Muslim.
Right.
Somebody else that's a big defense minister is a Muslim. They got like 4 main cogs over there that are Muslims in charge of shit. Obama was doing the same crap here with us. He was trying to infiltrate those people.
He purged what do you call it when you take people out?
He took away all the patriotic people.
What's the term for that? Whenever you go in and you take people away or fire them, and
purges could be a word.
But anyways, that's what he had done to our military, and he put people that was like-minded of him in place.
And when you go to Dearborn, Michigan now,
yep,
and their mayor is a Muslim, their chief of police is Muslim. They do these calls where they have their prayer call come out and shit. If you're a Christian, you live in that town right there, and you played some Christian music in the back door, you're going to catch a bunch of flack for it. That's where we're quickly going.
I saw a deal yesterday. Wiley East High School, their principal, would not allow the parents to hand out Bibles, but she personally handed out hijabs, is that what you say? And Qurans earlier in the year.
That's a bunch of shit. Now, where we live in a little town in West Texas, we're not going to have that problem right now.
Right.
But it just takes one. I'm trying to how to say this. It only takes a town like Knox City, 1,200 people, 1,000 people. We probably got 1,000 people live here if we're lucky right now. You could bring in 10 families here of Muslim people come in here, and they could bring in 100 people with them, and they would win any election in town.
Well, that's what they're doing. That's what happened in Dearborn.
Yep.
Obama shipped 80,000 Somalians in there, and they took over the.
I don't think those are Somalians in Dearborn. That's in that's in Minneapolis.
But wherever it is,
yes.
And that's what they done. They brought them in on asylum, and
my hope is that it's a slow burn. New York plays out the way however it's going to play out, and then that can be a reminder to the rest of the country.
Well, that's my take on New York. I think he's doing all this stuff to these landlords. They're going to go bankrupt. They're going to confiscate their buildings, and they're going to let the Muslims take over them.
Right. So hopefully that stays there, and then however it plays out, the rest of the country can see.
I would say don't Muslim our Texas, but our politicians are freaking crooked. And
they're taking that money.
Yep.
And our Republican governor is one of them. Now,
who do you take money from?
That Muslim.
Care?
Yeah.
He committed. Didn't he just? He done something the other day where he Care has delegated them as a terrorist organization.
He does. He plays both sides of the aisle, but he's been taking money off of a Lebanese businessman has given millions and millions of dollars to his campaign.
I want to know why he didn't shut these damn buses down under a Biden coming in with all these illegals.
I thought he was shipping them out of here.
Yeah, but he should never let them come across our border.
That's a federal border. I don't think he could do that. I don't know.
Right.
I'm not taking up for the guy because I'm not a big fan, but he's better than the person that's running as a Democrat on both sides.
What's going to happen in D.C.?
Hold on just a minute before I forget this train of thought here. In England, saw a study come out yesterday. 250,000 little English girls from the ages of 11 to 16 have been gang raped, sex trafficked, all by Muslims. Every one of them. They got a real problem over there, and not having guns is an issue.
But that's what it just means. I just think, I think with where Europe is right now, where New York City could be headed, I think before it takes over America like it has in Europe, I think we're going to wise up to it. That's my hope, at least.
We are living where people are starting to wake up, because you see more and more people are like, no, they're Muslims. We don't want them here. And I saw a lady the other day that's a Muslim lady got pulled over by a police officer. Oh, you're just Islamophobic. Well, so am I. I got news for you. I don't want you around me. I'm sorry. Does that make me racist? I don't know. Yes, that's religious. Well, no, it's a religion, though.
It would make you Islamophobic.
I am Islamophobic. Oh. I'm not denying that part at all, but I don't think that makes me racist. Because if there's someone that's from Iran that's a Christian, I don't have a problem with them. Yeah, if there's somebody that's Saudi Arabia that's a Christian, I don't have a problem with them.
I don't think that's very many, though.
It's not, but if that was a racist deal, I would be against everybody that's from that race.
See, that's what bothers me is they come to our country, they should assimilate with our beliefs.
I agree.
If you want to keep your beliefs, stay the fuck in your home country.
Yep.
Don't bring your shit here.
I'm a big. We talked earlier about TV shows. I love shows made in the late 60s and early 70s. I watch them all the time. I'm watching Vegas now, and it's Vegas, and the S is a money sign, and Dan Tan is on it, Robert Urich, and it's a series. He's a detective in Las Vegas, and I love looking at Vegas in 1970. They filmed it in 79, and then I've been watching Columbo on other TV, and it's filmed in Los Angeles in the early 70s, 72, 73. And when they drive down the road and stuff, you see clean America. Oh, it's clean. Now, it's a TV show, but they're just going down neighborhoods, and they're going down main streets where people are doing business. They're not cleaning streets and shit. It's the way it was. It was clean there. And people are thin and fit. Very few fat. Well, whoever was fat back then is not fat today by any means.
Right.
But you see an American flags up, and people are respectful. We are so far from that now in our cities, and even in the countrysides compared to what it used to be like.
I saw a video the other day on Facebook. A guy was just walking down the street in L.A. videoing all the people on drugs and passed out and just in la la land. And guy took his pants down, took his shit right there in the middle of the street, pulled him up, and just kept walking.
And they vote. They just keep voting for the same thing over and over.
Yeah, and that's what.
Well, back in the 60s and 70s, you had people that had skin in the game too, I think. So one thing, they had all fought in World War II. I think it was Joe Kent, and you can agree or disagree, but he was talking about having a draft and how it might be good for America, because I think he said 1% of Americans go into the armed services. So 1% of Americans are fighting for your freedom every single day. But maybe if we did have a draft, or maybe if we did have, it would be involuntary like they do in Israel, where you have to go serve for 2 to 4 years. Maybe you would have a little bit more country. Maybe you would have a little bit more pride in your country.
I think
definitely have more discipline.
I think a draft would be a great thing. I really do, because let's face it, we're sending kids to college. I don't know what the percentages are of kids that are entering college that actually graduate from college, and I don't know what the percentage of kids that entering college that actually are getting a degree in something they're going to actually work in.
Right.
I think it's just to pass time because they're on Pell Grants and stuff. A big portion of them.
Yeah, that's the thing to do is go to college.
Yeah, but if you're going to college and you're actually learning a skill that you want to be an RN, probably a high percentage of kids that go into the RN program are going to be RNs.
Right.
Kids want to go to pre-med, lawyers, engineers, stuff like that. But the guy that's just going to get a business degree or getting a degree in psychology and sociology.
That's what everybody else is doing.
Yes. And there's somebody that's got a business degree. I got a business degree. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the average kid that's just going to school to go to college and waste his parents' money, or our government, the government money. I think going to schools, college, or the military for 2 years. You don't have to go for 6, 2 years. I think it would be great for most everybody.
And I think back in the 60s and 70s, I think that's why everybody had such pride in America, is that they saw people die, and they got skin in the game.
What do you think would have happened in 1965 if some guy dropped his pants and took a shit in the middle of the street?
I mean, knocked the fuck out of him.
That's exactly right. You ever seen the video of the girl taking a piss at the fair? She just pulls up her skirt, and some old man walks up and he kicks her right in her cooch. Hard as he can, just kicks the shit out of her. He's like, "You need to have some respect, young lady." You know what? That old man's right.
Right. For this, I'm trying to find how many people graduate. 2024, 42% of the population ages 25 to 39 held a bachelor degree. So 40%.
And I saw an interesting stat yesterday. I think I may have taken a picture of it. That was, and who knows.
But And, you know, I was against the draft, but it made a lot of sense the way Joe Kemp put it. It's like we got 1% of our population that serves in the armed forces. Like, it just doesn't do much to. I'm not going to say you're not patriotic, but you're going to have more discipline. You're going to have a skill that you can rely on.
Oh, here we go. What do you think the percentage is of Mexicans that live in the United States that are illegal, that are here? They're immigration, illegal immigrants that live here by country. What's the percentage of Mexicans in the United States that's illegal?
18.
25%. You know, of the 25% of them, guess what the percentage of them that's on welfare are?
85.
70%. Guatemalans that are here,
Illegal?
Illegal. Less than 10% is all. But less than 10% of here, 77 of them are on welfare. Mm-hmm. Nicaragua, 12% of the Nicaraguans living here are illegal. 75% of them are on welfare. Haitians, 12%, 53% of them are on welfare.
Go to Somalians.
I don't want this shit. It's
like 85%.
Yeah.
And they're all millionaires.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy the way we get. There's not another place in the world that's going to give you money to go there and live illegal. If they do that shit, I'd move to Mexico tomorrow.
Well, you know, it's kind of funny that the Democrat committee is broke right now, and they've cut out the USAID and Act Blue and all that other stuff.
I saw where Peru elected a woman
all
leader
those
today.
other South American countries are,
and they're all conservatives.
Yeah, I just looked up. If I were to immigrate to Costa Rica, there are no public welfare or financial assistance programs.
So that's where you would go.
Yeah.
Why Costa Rica?
And nobody has ill feelings towards Costa Rica.
I've never been there, but it's pretty clean, right, and safe?
Yeah. I just mean kind of.
Would you go over there over St. Lucia?
Oh, 100%.
What about the Caymans? It's pretty clean.
It's very clean.
Did you feel safe there? But it's a British place.
Yeah, I felt safe. But nobody has any ill will towards Costa Rica. It's just have a great time.
Most of those places you don't.
There is no.
What about Mexico?
I could look it up.
I could be an expat. I could be an expat and live like an Isla. It wouldn't bother me at all.
Cartels are fixing to take a big hit.
2.5 hour flight home. I could live in Isla. I really could.
American citizens do not qualify for Mexican welfare.
If I'm telling you right now, if Michelle got hit by a bus today, by this year at this time next year, I would have me a place down there. I would. I could live there 6 months a year. I really would. It's not expensive to live there. The weather's the same. It's not bad. I could, but that's one of the few places in Mexico that I would live because I feel safe there. 10 years from now, it may not be. It may be taken over by everything.
6 months.
It could be. But why do you think the cartels are fixing it?
Because Trump said now that we're done in Iran, we're fixing it to the cartels.
The cartels won't be no battle, though.
Well, if you're an American citizen and they take you and want to hold you for ransom.
I don't think this peace deal is going to last very long.
Israel's going to screw this up.
They want to.
Yeah.
Benjamin Netanyahu was in an interview yesterday saying that.
Pissed off, probably.
Yep.
Ain't his power about done, too?
He'd be in jail right now if it wasn't for Trump.
I thought that he was fixing to be out of office anyways.
Yeah, I think so. That's what's keeping him in office is the war. That's why he wants to keep going.
Because I think it's been like 100 days or whatever, give or take. I don't know how many times I've heard in the news a peace deal has been reached. And then 24 hours later, the peace deal is off.
I don't have a clue what's going on.
Like
I don't
Trump
think
said,
you're dealing with regular people because there's nobody knows who's in charge.
But like Trump said, like, just because we have a peace deal doesn't mean you can bomb them up until the cutoff time.
Right.
And like that's just continually what they would do. And they were like, oh, well, information didn't travel as fast. So they already had these bombings scheduled. And it's like,
there's nobody has got a bigger negativity in the last 24 months than the Israelis have with the United States.
I think they're being exposed. I think Israel's crooked.
You've said that for years.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you.
They're involved in everything that's bad.
Yeah. And and it's not Jewish people, because I know a lot of really good Jewish people, but the Israeli government is the one that's taking a black eye because America's had a shit. And the thing is, I'm not like one of these pro-Palestine people. I'm not for that shit at all.
How many Jews was killed in 9/11?
I don't know.
I read or heard
one time
that they all was told not to go to work that day.
That's what I've been told too, but I don't know if that's true.
Right. And what gets me is that.
Hold on, Andy doesn't like us to have sources without being a name to it. He said that drives him crazy when people just. He said old people like me and you come in here and we say,
No, I said over 60.
and they said, I heard, but never ever say who. But yes, I had read that before also, but I don't know if it was just bullshit. What are you seeing, Andy?
See, it says they're rumors. It's rumored that 4,000 people that worked at the World Trade Center did not show up for work that day. But I can't find a number of Jewish people.
Did you watch the movie that I told you about?
Which movie?
About the Jews. About how Israel came in with Kirk Douglas.
I think I did. I can't
remember the name of it, but it's when John Wayne's in it and
the death or the devil or.
No, it's not the devil, but it's when Israel becomes.
Oh, I just watched it the other day.
Yeah,
Bibi Netanyahu's dad was one of the original guys that was in that. Did you know that?
No, I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
he was one of the original people that was involved. What's the financial people?
Jews.
No. The guys that's in
Rothschilds.
Yes. The Rothschilds was one of the original guys that pushed it. Benjamin Netanyahu's dad was in on it.
So the Rothschilds were Jewish.
Yeah, they're the ones
that
were actually.
Were they from Germany?
I don't know where they were from, but they were one of the wealthy families that pushed for Israel to have their own statehood.
Why did they pick the little area that they have?
I'm not sure.
Do you know, Andy?
Sure, it's the Holy Land.
But what all? I mean. It is, but how far did the Holy Land encompass?
Well, I mean, that's just where all the religions came out of.
I mean, you're a deacon at your church. So
I'm not a deacon.
But what made the original land of Israel was not very big. They've expanded it, correct? I don't know much about the history on Israel, so I'm not. If you're listening to this and you're expecting me to give you a history lesson on Israel, you're fairly big time mistaken because I do not know that much about Israel other than that movie I watched and what I've read. But I know the West Bank and they keep growing and growing in Gaza, the Gaza Strip.
They want more country and more space.
I watched a documentary called Water about 8-10 years ago, and it talks about Israel controls all the water over there.
Modern Israel is geographically similar in size or slightly larger than the ancient kingdoms of Israel and Judah, encompassing roughly 20,000 square kilometers.
And that was the original.
However, biblical boundaries and empires expanded and contracted drastically over time, ranging from tiny divided city-states to a vast promised land described in the Torah.
Now, isn't Jerusalem has a big Muslim population also?
I think so.
Or is Tel Aviv?
Some.
I think it's Tel Aviv.
I think it's like 50-50.
I know there's Muslims spread throughout Israel.
Yes, Jerusalem has a large and growing Muslim population. Muslims make up approximately 1/3 of the city's residents. Nearly 400,000 Muslim residents.
In Jerusalem.
But it's like you got the three, you got Judaism, you got Muslim, and you got Christianity, and they all kind of fight for the same holy city.
And the Jews and the Christians kind of are on the same side.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, from what I believe is they don't believe in Jesus being a
Son of God.
Son of God. I think he might have been a prophet, and their Bible stops at when the New Testament starts.
Okay. And then Palestine is diehard. Is that Hezbollah? Hamas, I mean. That's and they're radical Muslims. And they want to kill all the Jews, right?
Right. But they're the proxy for Iran.
Right. Now, is it just a wall that separates them? Is there a border or water?
I think there's a wall. But what gets me about them is the October massacre. Mm-hmm. It took Israel 8 hours to retaliate.
Okay, why?
I read that they stood down.
I would believe that.
The Israeli military and allowed it to happen.
So that we could have more...
So the U.S. would get involved too.
Well, so that we would have more disdain for their enemy.
So they sacrificed their own people, knowing it was going to happen.
I believe.
To try to make us...
To pull us into it. So probably to pull us into Iran, so we've done what we just done.
I don't think you're far off.
You think Benghazi was a People upset over a YouTube video?
Hell no. I think that Obama was caught sending weapons to the ISIS in Syria, and what's that guy's name?
Chris, whatever the Stevens.
Yeah, Stevens. Was it the ambassador?
I think it was Chris
Stevens. Yeah, I think they had him murdered to cover up for what he knew.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's a good
13
movie.
Hours?
Have you seen it?
Very good movie.
It's very good. Make you madder than hell too.
Yeah,
Boy.
and then whenever they got the hostages, it was in Benghazi themselves, and what you're talking about, the movie, and then the CENTCOM out of Africa or whatever was told to stand down.
Right.
Did you see Hillary come out yesterday and praise Trump for this peace accord? She must be thinking she's fixing to get her ass in trouble if she praised him over anything.
I did see Jill Biden. She admitted she thought Joe had a stroke in that last debate.
I think she's just trying to sell books.
But,
Did you see the way she talked to him afterwards?
But the thing is, one of the news anchors, it was the guy that was, I think he was moderating the debate. He was like, that's major news for a president, that his wife thought that he had a major, major medical episode up on the debate stage, and he was still allowed to sit in office for another couple of months.
Yeah, and why did they stop the debate?
And nobody ever heard anything about, we're worried he just had a stroke.
Yeah.
He didn't have a stroke. He was done just
I
off
don't
his
know.
meds. Well, here's the thing.
I don't
When
know,
he
it
came
was-
off stage, she said, "Oh, you done so good.
answered every
You
question.
Answered all the questions right."
Well, yeah, I mean, that's his wife. So, I mean, you got to
You're going to tell a grown man, a politician, oh, you answered all the questions.
you got to kind of make chicken salad out of chicken shit at this point. So
you
I think that's
he
what
had a
she was
stroke
doing.
then?
I'm just saying that they went to great lengths to keep buried that something major happened on that debate.
I'm asking you, do you think? I don't think he did. I think he was just he got exposed.
I don't know. He looked bad.
What gets me is all the ignorant ass people out there that believe he was all there, that knew what he was doing.
They know every one of them's come out, but now they don't want to talk about that.
No, I'm talking
That's
about the
the
people
past.
that voted for him.
But I think-
they just vote Democrat. Don't matter
I know
what
that,
happens.
but it's just, it blows my mind.
I think that was what Biden was in office. I think he was lost. He was a lost old man.
That's why they had him in there.
And then it just came out. But it's not a good look that they covered it up. And
What-
maybe she is just trying to sell books. I don't know. But
well,
she said when she was watching, she was like, "Oh my God, like he's having a stroke right now."
I posted this on Facebook the other day. It was talking about Michelle Obama or Big Mike, whatever you want to say. I don't know which way to go on this. I really don't, because I have said before, I think that if she is a woman, I feel really horrible for the way we have treated her. If she's just a hideous looking woman, that's horrible. I really is. But I really don't. I have a hard time believing that because of all the stuff that you see. There's no pictures of them with babies when they're little. There's no pictures of her. If the people out there that thought Michelle Obama was good looking, would you not think that some guy out there would have taken her to the prom or to somewhere and said, "Hey, I dated her in high school. That was my girlfriend." You know, I promise you, someone dated Ronald Reagan's wife. Someone dated Carter's wife. Someone dated Laura Bush, Barbara Bush. You could find somebody everywhere in history that went out with them, went to school with them, grew up with them, spent the night and had sleepovers with them. I mean, Hillary Clinton, she still gets together with her girlfriend she grew up with. But this one here has none of that.
Think about this. If people was lying, there would be thousands of lawsuits for defamation.
Well, they don't want to have to go to discovery.
Exactly, because they might find out she's got a dick.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at though is if she is a man, and people would say, well, people ain't that stupid. We would have never fallen for that. We fell for COVID. We closed our businesses down. There was people didn't go to churches, didn't have Thanksgivings, didn't have Christmases with their family. They stood 6 foot apart. They wore masks. But then you could go to Home Depot and go buy lumber.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how stupid we were. You know, listen, you got to wear a mask till you get to your table. But once you get to your table, you can take your mask off. And we were stupid.
Yeah.
That's how
and you
stupid
can
Americans
smell somebody
are.
fart in that mask, but you ain't going to get COVID.
Yeah.
We were talking about jujitsu a couple weeks ago, and like during that period, if you were in the bullpen, you had to wear a mask. When you went out on the mat, you got to take the mask off.
Stupidest shit ever.
You know, you're standing there next to your opponent. You got to be masked up when you're here.
Yeah.
You step onto the mat, mask can come off, and then you can breathe on each
COVID-free
other,
space.
and then you can sweat on each other, and everything else. So I can't find any pictures of her pregnant, but I do. There are pictures of her with tiny babies.
Pull it up on the deal.
Well, it's not going to look good for
For her.
the anti-man argument. That is them with one of them. I don't know which one. Says new. Oh,
The one the lady's got 6 toes over there.
Malaya. No, it's just 5. And then this one. So, but I don't know. And then there's always this one that people like to go back to,
That's
saying that might be Mike.
That is Mike. There's a picture where you can see her elbow. She's got like something wrong with her elbow right here, and it shows pictures of that dude right there at Harvard, and they got a picture of him. I don't know one way or the other. I've never seen her naked. I don't want to, but there's something is fishy about this whole deal.
There's a video of her dancing on Ellen that shows that little dong dinging around.
Yeah, but I have a hard time.
There's her wedding day.
That probably happened.
Click down on the bottom right picture.
This one?
That one. Look awful lot alike, huh?
But I think that's Michelle Obama right there. Right there. I think that's her at Harvard.
But see, this is their picture of their of the one that the cursor's on right now. The one with the, what do you call it with the baby? The sonogram picture.
That's not them. That's just, she said that they had to use IVF
Okay.
during one of their pregnancy. That's an IVF article.
Have you seen the picture of the doctor and his wife that are friends with them?
No.
Oh, the kids look just like them.
What do you mean?
There's a picture floating around.
They borrowed their kids.
They borrowed their kids. Oh. And I would like to know the story on those people, and I want to know where those kids are. Show me those girls now somewhere else in life. Did they just disappear?
They're right there.
No. The picture of there's a picture floating around of a couple. You could put down there Obama's friend's couple who's the real parents, and you'll see the picture of them. And those girls look just like those people do. I mean, 100% identical to the mom and the dad. I don't know. But anyways, here's what I was saying now. So I don't know if they put this on us, but look what they did to us with COVID. First of all, look what they did to us with JFK. Okay, for years it was Lee Harvey Oswald. Now we're finding out the CIA was involved. Okay,
I don't think we found that out yet. I still think we're highly speculating that.
Okay,
I've not seen anything definitive that said that they did it.
Watergate was a ruse. The whole thing was. Then we've got 9/11. Now we've got this going on with Michelle Obama. We got COVID, and then Joe Biden's presidency. I mean, so you're telling me that Joe Biden or that Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are fighting it out, but the DNC's giving Hillary Clinton all the answers to the debate. Donna Brazile has come out and said that she did do that. Right. And nobody on the left had a problem with that. None of the other candidates had a problem. Bernie Sanders, he's a nutless son bitch. He has no problem with that at all. Then we get to 2020 when we're all running for president, and Bernie and Gay Pete are winning. But what happens? They just mysteriously all drop out all at once. Every one of them leave and get out of the race, and they let Sleepy Joe get in. And then all of a sudden, Sleepy Joe gets 82 million votes more than anybody.
20 more million votes than Obama got, and 20 more million than Kamala got.
Not a chance in hell.
Nope.
And we all know it was fake. So if they're going to fake to us and pretend that that's a man or a woman, would you be shocked?
Ain't it funny how the transgender push started right at this time?
Yep.
I think it's great Trump lost in 2020.
I think it was all a setup deal.
You think Trump was in on it?
Yep.
I mean,
No,
I think it was.
I think he was.
I don't think it's set up, but I think you're right. I think we're going to get more done to maybe clean up this country, and we're not going down a very quick road to doing it because we need to have somebody arrested. I did see in Minnesota yesterday arrested one of the guys for $1.6 million in fraud.
Right.
It ought to go all the way to Tim Waltz and Keith Ellison ought to be in prison. And the stupid ass people in Minnesota and the ones listening to this aren't voting for blue anyways. There's no way in hell that Amy Klobuchar should get elected governor of that state.
I think the whole thing was a setup deal. I said that, and the reason why is so they can expose everything that happened, give him 4 years to see what went wrong and what didn't go wrong, because he signed a bunch of executive orders in 2019.
Check your phone. Your mom wants.
Executive orders in 2019 that was completely against the Democrats that Biden never did rule over. And it had to do with the elections and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I just...
And I think the deal in L.A. with all the mail-in ballots, the shenanigans there, I think that's all going to play into their... I think they have the goods on everything, and I think it's just a matter of time before we see it all. In Georgia and Arizona.
Are you happy with the state of politics in Texas? Because I'm not.
I don't really pay attention, Jeff.
Our state Republicans are crooked as hell.
I think so too. And I'm going to vote for Ken Paxton. And I'm not really a Ken Paxton guy, but I'm not voting for Tallarico. I ain't vote for no Democrat.
Well, the left is going to come out and say that Ken Paxton was crooked and he ethical charges. The Bush faction of the Texas politics tried to get him out of office.
Yes,
because they knew the threat that he was to them.
And he's going to win at Senate.
He was going to win without Trump's
right. People
endorsement.
Had enough. John Cornyn.
John Cornyn was going to lose anyways.
Tallarico pretended to be a woman his first 2 years of high school. I just saw that come out yesterday. And they've got drips. They're going to drip stuff on him. But the Democratic Party, they go so far extreme. Like this guy in Maine that's running. Everything that they say about Trump, a Nazi, and all this shit, and they got a guy running with the Nazi deal on it, but they don't care. And they've even said that, well, it's better than Susan Collins. I don't like her either. I wish that Republicans would have won somebody else instead of her. I don't live in Maine, though. But I'm not happy with the Republicans. I don't understand why we can't fix education in our own state. We are the wealthiest state in the country. Would you say that's true?
Yeah.
Would you say that's true? Why can't we fix our education in our own state?
Do you know that our education, we were the smartest in the world until Jimmy Carter came up with the education, the Department of Education.
Yes,
I didn't know went downhill ever since then.
But do you know who writes the books?
Republicans?
The Jews.
They write the books?
The history books.
Okay, I'm not talking about just history. I'm talking about just overall education. You're on school board. You're a deacon. So I'm going to ask you as a school board.
A dickhead or a deacon?
Dickhead.
Both.
I'm not a deacon.
A dickhead deacon. But my deal is for you. You're on school board.
Yep.
And you're in a really tough place to be in a school board because we have limited funds because we are landlocked by all the rich schools around us right now.
Yep.
But there's a lot of things we could do to fix our schools that you can't fix because they're state laws. But I don't understand why we can't pump some of that rainy day money we have into public education. And not the schools that are loaded.
What would you like to see fixed?
I would like to see us have, this is really going to sound funny. I think all kids below 6th grade and below should go to art class every day for 30 minutes. I think they should go to band or music every day for 30 minutes. I think they should have recess for 30 minutes every day. I think we should have history, math, science, the basic classes. And I think we ought to have pull-out programs where we get to take the kids on field trips more than once a year where they actually get to see real life things. That's what I would like to see. The school that I grew up with, we had a lot of freedoms. I was a smart kid, so I got a lot of free time on but I did all my work, but I learned the basics. But we also had creative things because there's kids that are really good at art that aren't good at everything else. But I think all kids need to be in art class, music classes and stuff. And I'm not talking about band. I'm talking about music where you sing and you learn how to play a strum, like a guitar, just something to do. That's my thing. I think it would be nice to let kids be creative. That's my thing.
Okay. So in Knox City, we have band every day. We have PE every day.
Okay.
We have recess every day.
Okay, we have recess and PE. Okay. All right.
Yep. So recess is after lunch.
Okay.
What else did you want? Art. I don't think we have finger painting.
There's you can do more than finger paint. I had an art teacher, Miss Gordon, and we did all kinds of things. We painted, we did crafts, we did things, but it was just for kids to get away from the learning to just deconstruct for a little bit and get to be creative.
We have history.
Okay.
We have math.
Okay.
We have science. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know what box isn't being checked other than art.
Well, there you go. That's one art. So I have music every day.
Every day.
And we have organized PE every day or
whatever
recess.
Sport is in season is what the kids are working on.
So we didn't work on stuff. We just had like a couple of days a week where the guys could go play football if we wanted to.
Well,
or could play softball. But then we'd have like tournament deals where we had a recess teacher, Miss Allison, and she would be like, we're going to do kickball. And they have kickball teams.
Well,
we play a tournament.
But they have sharks and minnows now.
Friday's free, so I think Friday's like your dodgeball day and stuff like that. But Monday to Thursday, football's in season for the boys, so they're working on football stuff. Volleyball for the girls.
And I think kids need to learn geography in school. And we need to learn about where we came from. We need to learn about the Revolutionary War and George Washington, all the things we grew up as kids about. Kids today don't have a clue about none of that shit.
They don't want our kids to know that.
No, you go to a 16-year-old kid and you ask him, who did we fight the Revolutionary War? Half of them can't even tell you who we fought.
No.
You know, it's like when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor. You know, they're clueless, and that something has happened. But when I was a kid, even the dumb kids knew about George Washington cutting down a cherry tree. I mean, they knew.
Well, they're deleting our history.
I don't know if they're deleting it, but they ain't teaching it no more. That's what I want to see in our education. But I want to make sure that schools like Knox City and some of the poorer schools have some funds that the state can kick in, because there's schools like Jayton out to the west of us having to send money back.
Yes, they send money back. The rich schools send money back, and then it gets reapportioned.
Well, they could reapportion more money to the poor schools.
Or I would say if you're in a unique situation like Knox County is, where you have 3 schools, before you send this money back to Austin to go to Houston, make sure all the schools in the county are taken care of, and then whatever's left in that excess, then kick that money back, and then that can go to Houston, that can go to Dallas, Midland, wherever.
Because you're helping out the people in your same neighborhood. I got no problem with that. And I can see where people from Mundy and Benjamin say, well, bullshit, we shouldn't have to give Knox City money. You're not giving us your money. Your money's going to the state.
Your money's already going to the state.
We're taking the state's money and we're spreading it out between your neighbors.
Right.
Just like we share water, we could share some funding.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, it's all the same. These data centers, they're all using the same resources of the county. Solar, same sun. It's just a little bit earlier whenever it hits Monday versus Knox City. So you're already having to send money back. So why would you not want to see your neighbor do well rather than it go to the state and then the state does whatever it's going to do with it? So with your argument, I think that we're already kind of in a okay position education-wise.
Well, nationwide and statewide, some reason there's a big disconnect about a lot of things that I think are important. And I don't know what the answer is because I'm not in education, but it sure seems to me like our school's gotten so far away from just basic necessities.
Well, they're teaching them for a test now instead of teaching them to learn.
Well, and I mean, a lot of it's babysitting now. I mean, you're not paying teachers very much, so you're limiting your pool.
Teachers are making a whole lot more than they were 10 years ago, though.
$35,000 for a first-year teacher.
I thought they were getting, well, I mean, you go to school, you go to work as an engineer somewhere, and you're not making much more than that your first year.
$100,000 today is what?
$100,000 a day.
$100,000 today.
Oh,
equals $50K in 2000.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
So
you said
whenever you look at $35,000, that's not going to get you very far in today's climate. So you're already not enticing very many people.
Look up what a paramedic makes his first year working.
Hold on, let me finish my point. You're getting people that you could have a lot brighter minds getting into the field of education if there was more money involved.
I would agree with you on that part. But the $35,000 starting out pay is not different than a lot of places that start out 35. The problem is you don't catch up where you do on the other side. Like if you're a first time engineer, I don't even know what an engineer starts out at make, but I'm going to bet you.
Problem is year 10, 20.
Bingo. That first year engineer might make 35 to 45,000 starting out at a firm, but on year 5 he's making 110,000 a year.
First year EMT 30 to 38.
Okay.
14 to 18 bucks an hour.
Yeah. Now, boy, I'm gonna piss some teachers off here, but I'm gonna say this: it's also a job that you get off 2-3 months in the summer.
Yes, you do.
So if you really want to look at it, that time you're making 35,000 a year, but you're getting off
working.
You're getting off 2 months a year. Yeah, because you get off a week or two at Christmas, and you get off a week. And I'm not saying you're overpaid because you're not. I'm on the teacher side here. I'm just saying that other person that's making 40,000 a year is working 50 weeks a year and getting 2 weeks vacation a year. The average teacher is getting 12 weeks off a year.
Right.
So that correlates into that pay. But the top end on teachers is what's not fair. You don't ever get, where with them other occupations, you start getting management positions, you start making more money, and teaching you don't.
Yeah, I can't remember what the number is whenever you max out. Off the top of my head, I could probably look up.
We have a good friend that's maxed out, and she gripes about it all the time.
Right.
Because she's not going to get a raise again until she retires. She'll never get another raise.
Well, and then they changed a bunch of rules with the retirement. So it used to be rule of 80. You take your years of service and your age equals 80. You get everything. And then now, I believe, I'm going to screw up here. Basically, it's no longer that. You have to teach to a certain age, and then your pay scale tops out. So basically, like your last 10 or 15 years of service, you're maxed out. So they're going to have to address that at some point.
But teaching, but I just don't think we get the education that we got a long time ago. And there's some things that's probably done a whole lot better. But like you said too, and I didn't think about that, the babysitting degree. In the school, in the 70s and 80s, when you went to school, the 60s, you went to school, if you got in trouble in school and it was a disruption class, they beat your ass.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got kids. This is also probably going to hurt some feelings here, but when you go to class today, you have a lot of kids with special needs in those classes. That's a distraction to some other kids, and sometimes in a lot of instances.
No Child Left Behind is what changed that.
I understand that. I think we need to fix some of that different ways. I don't know what the problem is having a separate classroom with some of those kids for some things.
Can't make everybody not feel included, Joe.
Well, that's what's got us in this situation. I think if you look at, you've got a child that's disruptive in class and he's got problems, whatever it is, autism, ADHD, DHD, crack baby, whatever the hell it is, and he's got some problems and he outbursts and stuff and it interrupts the other kids' learning. I think they ought to have a class for him and some other things. I'm not talking about him being in the art class or the music class, but if you're trying to learn math and science and history, put him somewhere else these kids can study and learn. And I also don't think there's nothing wrong with having your kids separated by the smart kids and the dumb kids.
What we did is we just dumbed down everything to raise the bottom up.
Yeah, and we're paying for that today.
So the kids that are at the top end, they're getting a watered down education so that we could lift up those from the bottom.
Yeah, and
what ended up happening.
And that's not a good course.
I can tell you a big problem, I think, is the students that rely on their phones. I think the phone is the worst thing that a kid could do to take to class.
I would,
because they put down, they'll just go to their phone and Google it or do all these other things.
Chat GPT or whatever.
Right, and they don't learn like they could if they didn't have a freaking phone.
I've
seen this firsthand.
That's a parent issue, not a school issue.
I know it's not a school issue, but it affects most of the kids.
Because it is Texas law that there are no cell phones in the class. So this
not
is
supposed to be, but from what I understand, some of the schools still allow.
Maybe it's Texas law, so I don't know about that. Now I'm not saying that there aren't kids that are like skirting the rules and having a burner phone that they turn in to begin the day.
Burner phone.
I'm not saying to grab an old flip phone out of the cabinet and.
I know a teacher that says that the kids still take their phones. It's not Knox City schools.
Right.
It's a different school, and they says that it's almost impossible, the number of students and stuff.
That's on management at that
school. It
is
management. But I think that hurts the kids. I think the kids are left behind because of the phone.
Well, and like I said, this is a parent issue more than it is a school issue, but kids today don't take I don't know for an answer. Reese can ask me a question. What's the how much does Jupiter, where in Earth's rotation in a year is Jupiter?
Huh?
I don't know that answer.
I couldn't tell you either.
ChatGPT does. So kids today don't take I don't know as an answer. And the way that they get information is different because they can simply type in where's Jupiter at in its rotation in the time that it takes Earth to make a full rotation around the sun. And they can find an answer.
But what's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it, but then they rely on that whenever they have to go to know it off the top of their heads.
But hold on, though. That's no different than me learning from reading an encyclopedia. Correct?
I think I think kids are bombarded with information now because everything is so easily accessible. When I was growing up, if I wanted to know where Jupiter was, blah, 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 that was just going to have to be something that we just didn't know.
But you could look it up in an encyclopedia.
I don't think you could. I don't think you could.
I don't know. I think that there's a lot of good things to do from a computer. I read my laptop all the time, just like I do a book, because I love to read. And I read all kinds of weird shit that I find interesting and fascinating, and I read a lot. And instead of reading a book as much as I do, I read my computer, but it's the same thing. I'm retaining that information.
I don't retain information. And I don't think kids retain information as much just because it's just a bombardment of information all day long. I can't retain anything anymore. And I think it's just because of cell phones. I think there's just too much information out there. Kids are on information overload all the time, and maybe that's why we're getting dumber.
Do kids do book reports anymore in school?
Yes. It's AR.
No, that's not a book report, though.
Yes, it is. You read a book and you answer questions over it.
No, a book report, you would read a book and then you would write a report on a book that you read and all the details about it. Completely different. That's a quiz on what you read. I don't have a problem with that part. I'm just saying that's not a book report.
It's the new version of book report.
Yeah. Like I used to, one of my favorite things we did in elementary school is they would give all the states to kids, and you would make a packet here like this right here, and it'd be like New York State, and I would write about New York State. I'd read everything about New York, and I'd write a whole thing about it. I loved doing that stuff.
Reese did that this year.
Did he like it?
I don't think he disliked it.
I really enjoyed it. But I like geography, and I like traveling. So I guess when I was little, I didn't travel much, but I read a lot about a lot of different places. So I used to just consume me stuff like that. But it was something I was interested in.
Well, my favorite thing was recess and lunch.
But I agree with you, Tony. I think that the cell phone is the worst thing you can put in a kid's hand. Jeff's on my ass about getting Reese a cell phone.
Whoa.
I think.
Hold on.
I think it is to the detriment of a child. The earlier that they get a cell phone, you no longer have a child because of everything that they're going. You can put all the guardrails up you want on a cell phone. Pornography, whatever.
That's the first thing that comes to your deal is pornography.
Voodoo, just whatever it is. All the bad stuff is going to find a way to leach into your kid's phone.
So tell me when I'm staying on your ass about getting him a phone.
You're always on me. When's Reese going to get it? You said it on air.
I think when Reese gets to be going to school and he has to get on a bus to go to out of town, that's because hardly anybody had phones at the time. It would be nice for you to text him and say, what time are you going to be in, is all I'm saying.
Or I could just be at the bus barn.
Okay, that's fine.
But I just think that I think it is a recipe for disaster. I think that
when's he going to get a phone then?
I don't know.
Halfway through a 6th grade year, when he's got to go to the bus barn.
But we're not
exactly right.
But we're not in a hurry.
No, I get where you're coming from. I'm with you on that. I mean, a basic flip phone would not be bad. I think that's what they ought to have, is starter phones for kids, where you can just call or text, nothing else. No web or nothing like that. And maybe you can only text 10 people, and the parents get to put down the numbers that you want for the kids. And that way they could text you, Mom or Dad, I'm here. And it's a location so you can keep up with your kid. Would that be a bad idea?
I was talking to a dad just a couple years ago, and he had a kid around the age of 12. Cell phone. Got a cell phone. Well, guess what they find on the fucking cell phone about 6 weeks into having it?
Porn, I guess, is what you're going to say.
It wasn't porn, but it was damn near. But
what's damn near porn?
I mean, it's just girls in lingerie and stuff like that, just stuff that a 12-year-old probably doesn't need to be seeing. But it all started with...
Did you have Skinamax in your room when you were 12?
It all started with him liking one image or one video. And then it progresses and it gets racier and racier. So had they not intervened, yes, it would have been full on porn.
Okay.
I think he was younger than 12. I think he might have been 10 or 11.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that part. But did you hear what I said my idea was? Yeah. Or do you think that would be a bad idea? No web at all. Just you can have 10 numbers, 8 numbers, 6 numbers. Your mom and dad's number, grandma and grandpa's number, your teacher's number, your principal's number if you need it, and somebody, Uncle Tony. And that's it. And that way, if they need to get a hold of somebody, they got 6 people they can call, and that's it. And they can get a text from them 6 people only. That wouldn't be a bad thing to have.
No.
And that way you got a Snake. It got a location.
You got Snake on there. You can play Snake.
Well, I don't care about
with that.
No games even. I don't care about that.
You can let him play
but
Snake.
Just see here, he is giving in already.
Snake's a good game.
But that way, it's a safety device for your kid to have. There's nothing wrong with that.
Dad were on a school trip to Crow. The bus broke down and nobody else has a phone. And
so I do.
Please come help me.
I do. I'm not in the system yet, but they have Reminds. It's a communication system for the parents. I think stuff like that goes out
on your phone deal.
Yeah.
Ask Tony. He was asking about track schedule the other day, so I guess Tony's going to be involved still.
I'm not in it. My wife is the one that gets all the Reminds, but I think like stuff like that, like, hey, we wrapped up the field trip early. We'll be there at 2:30.
If you were a teacher or a coach, would you want to be texting your kids? I would not want that into my deal.
My
at all.
Kids?
No,
or my parents?
Your students.
No.
I think that's as a coach. I understand. I'm friends with some coaches, and I understand they got a group text, and they said, "Hey, be at the bus barn at 6:45 in the morning." I get where that comes from, but I
think that goes out in the Reminds because it went out with workouts.
I would every group's got a Remind.
Yeah,
but I would not want to have my kids' numbers.
No,
I don't need them at all. I want to be able to go to a database that I can send this to, and then it sends out everywhere, and that way I'm not involved.
Well, a lot of these Reminds you can't reply to.
Right.
That wouldn't be bad.
Like one of the other days, they had summer workouts. Vacation Bible School was also going on. Our coaches wanted to go to that, so instead of having 6 p.m. workouts, they had 6:30 a.m. workouts. It went out on Reminds.
That's not a bad idea at all. I have a coaching buddy of mine that lost his job a couple of years ago because some girl in school, two girls said he did something inappropriate on a phone, a text.
And there's no way to.
Oh, yes, there is. He got his pay for the whole year without having to work and got everything taken care of because he was right. He didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
But two little girls got mad at him and they tried to make something up out of a deal.
Right.
And they showed some screenshots. I guess they got someone to text and they wrote down his number on it. I don't know how it all worked.
Right.
But anyways, the school system had to apologize to him and he got paid his check for the year. And he didn't do nothing wrong. And he said that. But then what happens is somebody goes and puts shit on Facebook or social media, and then everybody's in town's like, oh my God, I can't believe he did this. And some girl, well, 12 years ago when he coached me, he said, a nice move or something. And then that, I'm just making that part up. But then they make it into this whole thing.
Yeah.
So if I was a coach or a teacher, there is no way in hell that I would text a student at all.
Never. Did you see? I just saw two things in education. They want coaches to be able to coach 7-on-7. And there's a new way of measuring, I guess, heat during like 2-a-days.
Oh, God.
Well, hold on. Would you be saying that if you had a kid that died from heat exhaustion and you had a dickhead coach?
Go ahead.
Do you think coaches should be able to coach 7-on-7?
No.
Why?
I think you're putting too much on the coaches. I think coaches don't want to do that. I think you let your coaches.
It was saying
have
how
some
much
fair time,
it was
free
saying
time.
how much better your program could be if coaches coach 7-on-7.
My 7-on-7 career coaching record, I think we were 35-3 with me at the helm, so I don't think I really that bad. But
I disagree with a lot of what I disagree. Basically, once school's over, coaches can run mini camps.
that's basically what we're turning into.
I don't agree with that.
I agree with you.
I don't agree with that. And
I think coaches need to have some summer
They
off.
should not be able to participate in organized.
Right. You should be able to say, just like when I was in school, this is your workout program. It's posted. Weight room's unlocked.
How many
I'm
people-
going to be watching you because I'm going to know
Right.
who's
I'm
there,
going to
but
come.
I'm not going to be there.
I'm going to come up here
enforce it.
periodically throughout the day, but I can't enforce anything.
How many times? Okay, you had a good football program when you were in school,
Yes.
and I'm going to say, guessing probably 70 to 80% of you boys lifted weights every night and went to that gym.
A lot of them.
A lot. It was a big percentage.
Yes.
And I coached 7-on-7, and we had a huge turnout of every kids that played.
Yes.
And
And the coaches were there.
they come and watched every game, and they would go to the gym, but they didn't they didn't do nothing wrong. It
They didn't participate.
Nope, not at all. And I think if a coach wants to do that, I think it's fine.
Right.
But I don't think coaches. I can't imagine the coaches even want to be involved. I'm shocked
want
these
to.
coaches that want to coach little league youth sports. I don't get that. I thought, Jesus, you get your ass chewed out by the older kids' parents. Why do you want the young kids' parents mad at you? Some of these coaches are gonna have some pissed off parents for 10 years. I just 4 years, and that's 10.
I just think you're putting too much on the coaches' plate.
Yes.
They don't get any time off in the summertime because we're all worried about gold balls in November. Kids aren't getting their summer break anymore. And
Burn out on it.
I mean, I think it's a recipe for disaster. I think we're putting too much on everybody right now.
I'm with you 100% on everything you said.
And I mean, you got, I can't tell you how many posts I've seen about summer camps. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry
everywhere.
that plays college sports is coming back to their town to put on a coach's clinic.
So they can make some money. They used to not be able to make money doing it,
Right.
but now it's legal.
I've seen a bunch of softball camps. I think I've seen 3 just in the last 2 days on Facebook.
And those girls are getting $50 to $100 a kid.
Something like that.
And there's 30 kids show up and they make $3,000 and they do a 3-day camp and those girls
It's their
make
summer. money.
Yeah. Well, they'll do a camp and their friends will help them and then they'll go help their friend and in 1 month the girls are making $3,000 to $5,000 spending money. And I don't blame them, but that's because
Right, it's a way to make money
It's all
for
legal
them.
now.
Yeah.
But that all goes with this traveling baseball and traveling softball and traveling volleyball, and
it's too much. It's too much.
Well, after this last weekend, I am tired of youth sports until
until you
junior
have
high
to go
football.
watch another one.
Till junior high football.
I have become more. When I was in school, the program was everything to me, and I put a lot of time into bettering the program. But now that I am a parent and I realize how limited my time is with my kids, I kind of want June and July just to be us.
Off.
Yeah, not have to worry about going up to summer workouts or anything like that. And my kids are active too, so maybe we're the exception, not the rule. I'm sure there are a lot of kids that don't do anything other than sit on their PlayStation 5 all day long. They don't see any sun. My kids are active. We're in jiu-jitsu twice a week. They're lifting weights with me. So, but they enjoy that. But I just I don't know, man. Just the older I get, the older my kids get, I just want June and July just kind of be our time.
Well,
Because the schools have them, the institution has them August to late May.
when you were
And it's worked just fine up until now. Like there's been some great programs that this is what it was.
what grade Reese gonna be in? 6th?
Yep.
When you were in 7th grade, you're living the same life you're doing now. Same thing. You just forgot about it. You worked for your grandpa on the farm all day long. You got done. You come home. You'd eat supper.
I understand.
You'd go to the gym and you'd lift weights and run every night. You'd come home about dark. You'd eat again, take a shower, and then about 11:30, I'd hear you in there eating again. Matter of fact, you owe me $12,475 just for that one summer.
This is going to be the reason that Reese will have a phone halfway through.
But I'm just
6th grade.
saying, the ROI on that is, I don't think that it's a positive.
But you did. It's what I'm saying.
I know.
But the reason why
I know.
now it's required or not required. It's looked upon if you don't do it. But it's the same life you lived.
But I did it voluntarily.
That's the difference. That's what I'm saying, though. But Reese is doing the same thing you did at that age. It's hard for you to remember that he's getting that old now.
But I did it voluntarily. It wasn't I had to do something.
Is he enjoying it?
He loves, yeah. I mean, he enjoys sports and everything. He enjoys the jiu-jitsu, but I don't know. Maybe that's where it's different for me is I hadn't put on a helmet in 20 years, but I get to go to jiu-jitsu 4 days a week. So to me, it seems like if we're looking at the long-term picture of making Reese a good person, I feel like jiu-jitsu would be the answer.
That's what you're doing, though.
He's gonna get to do that way, way longer than at 18 years old.
If that's what he wants to do,
he's gonna take that. He enjoys it. At 18 years old, he's gonna take that helmet off for the last time, and that's gonna be it.
You don't know that he's not gonna be the next Tom Brady.
That is gonna be it.
You don't know that.
Statistically,
99% chance you're right. You're correct.
Statistically, that is it. But he can do jiu-jitsu up until 60, 70. So I just feel like
Until he hurts his Achilles.
And he can look back and think, wow, that's the best time I had was in high school participating in sports.
Yeah, right. Like that's not a good life to live, I don't think.
But you look at you with jiu-jitsu. Yours used to be 1 day a week. Now you're going 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And you enjoy it. And that's perfect. And that's great.
I enjoy
What about
it.
Jameson?
I can do it forever. I can do this forever. It's just like your window in organized sports is so small. So I'm looking at it from that lens. Like I pumped all my resources into football, and at 18 years old, I took my helmet off for the last time, and that was it.
Yeah, but you love
But how much did you learn life lessons through team sports and football?
Maybe it's made me better at jiu-jitsu.
Did you enjoy it? Yes, you did.
I don't know, I'm 20 years removed from it.
Well, I remember you balling when you played your last football game.
I didn't know any better.
It meant, yeah, because it was something you enjoyed.
There's a time frame that you go through to do things.
But we're going to Brennan Sorsby. What if at 18 years old, that would have been the last time he took his helmet off? And he worked his ass off till he was 18. And he never got to play again. Mm-hmm. Or he worked his ass off just like you did. He's got $6.5 million after 1 year. So
now you're comparing Reese to Brennan Sorsby.
If Reese turns out to be the next Brennan Sorsby, I'll be
You'll
proud
tell
of him.
me we can look back on this podcast and you can say, I told you so. You should have never taken him out of that.
Well, no, you would never know because you're not going to take him out of it.
I'm not going to take him out of it.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't know what his future is or yours. He might grow to be 6'5". You don't know. He probably not. The chances are very slim. But I'm just saying every kid that's made it wanted the same thing, and some of them were blessed with athletic ability. Some of them didn't have that great athletic ability. They worked their ass off and got lucky. But you don't ever know what's going to happen.
My thought is you don't want to pass up an opportunity
Andy,
to do
I have a
something.
crystal ball. I can tell you.
Andy, if you'd have been 6'3", you'd have got a chance to play Division I football as a quarterback.
Maybe.
You would have.
But
You're not 6'3".
I petered out at 5'11".
That's right. But that's what I'm saying. You just don't ever fucking know. You don't know what's going to happen in life.
Yeah, Reese could be the next Shaquille O'Neal.
You don't know. Well, he can't be that tall. But I'm just saying you don't ever know what's going to happen in life. So you got to go out and enjoy the most of it. Well, let's go to tech real quick.
And then just the running around we got to do, Jeff.
This is more about Andy than it is Reese. Yeah, I'm promising you this.
I'm tired.
You got to see Andy when he does go and watch his niece play some sports sometimes. He is the miserable son of a bitch sitting over in the corner. And I told Michelle, I said, that's a good uncle right there because he is not enjoying any bit of this. And I told Michelle, I said, and it ain't because of Andy that he's here. It's because Jessie is a good aunt.
It's not that. It's that it goes on so long. That's where I get pissy. If we're playing softball and baseball April and May, good. If I'm watching you in June, I'm pissed.
What about July?
It's fucking summertime.
I agree.
We're done. We're done. You don't
I
need to
can
be.
tell you right now, the next 6 years is going to be the longest years for you.
Yes.
Because
you
you're
don't-
going to go from band to football to basketball.
As long as we're doing it during business
track.
hours, I'm fine.
You're going to have a phone in a heartbeat.
As long as we're doing this during business hours, I'm good.
Are the 6th grade kids in high school band? Or is it just the 8th
No, the
grade
8th grade
kids?
kids.
8th grade.
Okay, thank you. You got 2 years left of that then.
8th grade.
Let's talk tech for a minute.
Okay.
So Sorsby has joined the supplemental draft.
Yep.
He's probably going to be a 2nd round pick. Somebody might take him in the 1st. Could be 3rd. They said that if he would have come out this year, he would have been the 2nd quarterback taken. He would have been ahead of the kid from Alabama, Ty Simpson. They said he would have went ahead of Ty Simpson. So I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine who used to play football at Tech, and we debated back this, not debated, just talking about stuff. He says he wished Tech would leave the Big 12. I don't know where Tech would go. The only conference I could think of that would be an equal move for them would be the ACC, because the Big 10 and the SEC is not taking Texas Tech. Nothing against Texas Tech. Neither one of those conferences need anybody. And if they're going to add someone, they're going to add a Miami first, I would think, or Florida State. I think would probably be the first 2 big moves if the SEC or the Big 10 was going to add somebody, or Notre Dame.
I think this was the best possible outcome.
I think you're right.
You move on because no matter what we did, suck, win it all, it's going to be such a distraction around the program. So I think him moving on to the supplemental draft and Tech just washing their hands of it, I think that's the best possible outcome that we could have had. My thing is why are we not punishing Cincinnati or Indiana where all of this took place? He never played a down.
Tech's not going to get. Tech didn't do nothing
I
wrong.
understand, but we're dragging Texas Tech and we're dragging Brendan Sorsby through the mud. Why is Cincinnati and Indiana getting a free pass?
Brendan
He never
Sorsby-
played a down for Texas Tech. Why are these other 2 programs where all of this happened under, why are they getting to just skate by?
You're right on them bringing. Tech shouldn't get in trouble for anything.
They're not going to.
But you said Tech and Brendan Sorsby. He's as guilty as anybody. He's the guilty one.
He is the guilty party.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Now-
but you're dragging Texas Tech through the mud. All Texas Tech has done is stuck up for their guy. They thought that they were gonna get him to play this year, and they were sticking up for their guy.
And they didn't go to court to try to get it changed. He did.
Right.
So I'm with you on the Tech part. Funny thing is, we get a comment from someone and says, I've never heard nobody put a take on Indiana. We didn't do anything wrong, blah, 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 blah. I looked it up today. Indiana's got 9 players that came from James Madison University. They got paid to come with Signetti. And they've brung in other players too. So Indiana's as guilty as anybody else is about buying a football team.
100%.
Don't tell me that this is a homegrown Indiana team at Bloomington, Indiana, that they've been there for 5 years.
Right.
Because that's false. So anyways, buddy, I appreciate you listening to it. He was really nice. But he said we were really far weakened on the left with our football comments about adding Indiana, which he's wrong. Because they did pay for some players also.
Brendan Sorsby was gambling in Indiana.
Yep.
Same as he was at Cincinnati.
Yep. Now, I think, conference-wise, Tech's in the best place they can be in.
Yes.
They've done great in the Big 12. They won football last year. They won softball. I don't know how they did in basketball. I can't remember. They made the tournament. I don't remember if they won the conference or not.
They're not
I think
going-
Arizona
They're
did.
not leaving the Big 12.
No, there's no reason to. But there's no. The SEC has no interest in Texas Tech at all. I mean, I don't know who you would replace. Kentucky. They're not very good at most stuff. Basketball. I mean, Tech would be an improvement over Kentucky. I would give them that. But there's nothing in the Big Ten or the Big Ten, Northwestern, Minnesota. There's some schools that Tech's better than, but they're not going to any other conferences. No. They're right where they need to be at. This will all go over till something else blows up on somebody else, but y'all are the villain now and you need to go with it. The sad thing about Tech is it's the most important position in football.
Yep.
And you are without really a quarterback probably for the first 4 weeks. But y'all basically play the Sisters of the Blind. So I don't know who's got a tougher schedule, Knox City or Texas Tech.
So I take Texas Tech don't want anything to do with Texas now.
No, they didn't want to play Texas anyways. And I saw Sark said today that he was not trying to shoot anything more at Tech. I think he was more at
Their schedule.
They've
got a weak schedule.
They've got a horrible. They got Sam Houston State, ACU, Oregon State.
Yeah, because he never said playing Texas Tech. He said their schedule.
Yeah, he said their
said they
schedule.
could
I
beat
could
them
take
with
my
our twos.
2s and 3s. We could go undefeated on their schedule, and I would probably agree with him. I don't even think y'all play BYU in the regular schedule
I don't
season.
think so. We looked it up last week. I don't think we do.
You play Colorado.
And that's good for Tech. I hope they win out.
I'm not. I told a guy the other day. I said everybody thinks I'm anti-Tech because
I'd like to see Texas and Tech play each other in the final.
I said, the only time I don't pull for Tech is when they're playing Texas. Otherwise, I like Tech. I think it's great. I got a lot of good friends who went to school there. Kids went to school there. It's a great college. It's a great university. I like Lubbock. I don't have nothing at all against Tech. I wish them the best.
Well, that's like me, Texas OU. Whoever wins that game, that's who I'll cheer for.
Yeah.
I have a harder time with OU now.
Right.
Speaking of OU, Luke Musgrove called me last night and asked me, he goes, we going to win this game or not? It was Georgia and Texas played last night baseball. I said, I'm watching Vegas. He goes, huh? You're not watching the game? I said, no. I said, baseball, about 9 pitches, and I'm bored, and I turn it off. I said, I watch softball, watch the whole freaking game, but I said, I cannot watch baseball at all.
Too long.
Have you watched any College World Series?
No.
Me neither. I did watch 5 minutes of World Cup soccer the other day. Absolutely a miserable game. Man, them people love it, and they get into it, and I'm proud for them. I hope they have the best time in the
You
world.
see the Japan's fans?
Cleaning up the stadium.
Yep.
Classy people. But I just cannot watch. To me, it's a very boring game.
I don't understand it.
I mean,
Kudos to people that do.
You put the ball in the net, and I understand it's a poor country sport. It don't cost a lot of money to have a ball and kick it between two trees. And I tell you what, I will say this much. The skill level with them guys and a ball is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Have you watched Ted Lasso?
I saw the first season.
That's not a bad show.
That's good. Good show.
That guy's a really good that plays the head guy on that deal.
Yeah.
But I've watched it. And I don't, like I said, I'm not a soccer guy, but that's interesting. It's not a bad show at all. Mm-mm. I like his bringing some Yank humor to the English.
Yeah. It's a good show.
Okay. Before we get out of here,
make it quick. Our disc is almost full. We got
what
3 minutes and 45 seconds.
What do you think is the next big conspiracy theory we're going to go deal with? Going to be a big storm in the winter or the summer?
The peace deal ends.
So how long do you think the peace deal goes till?
We won't make it to July. I doubt we make it to June 20. Today's the 17th. June 21st it'll be over.
Who's going to blow it?
Israel. Well, we'll never know, but it'll be between Israel and Iran.
What do you think?
I watched Disclosure Day the other day, and there's a reason that movie has came out right now with them releasing all the alien stuff.
It's a very interesting take because they've talked about how Hollywood kind of like gets people ready for what is
I
about
think
always
that's
happens.
going to happen.
Right. Is there any truth? Hang on. I can delete something off that.
You got
disc.
3 minutes. Go.
Is there any truth to that picture of Trump talking to those people that were dressed in red, very pale skin, blonde hair? They were saying they're the Nordic tribe of the aliens.
I haven't heard about that.
I swear, Jeff.
You did not just ask that question.
I did.
Hey, if we go down this rabbit hole, can we talk about Tartaria?
Just hold. Let me delete something off of here. Pause. Okay, I bought us another 2 hours. Okay, so the picture was Trump with Nordic aliens.
I wonder if this is the same people that old Admiral Byrd visited with when he flew into that big hole in Antarctica.
Hold on, I'm scheduling a podcast here. Let me get this done real quick.
This picture right here. Y'all haven't seen that?
No.
This was released and then
Looks like the guy off of freaking Harry Potter.
Well, there's 2 of them.
He looks like the dad of that Malfoy kid.
So this was taken and then it was deleted. Pretty darn quick. PDQ. But a lot of people are saying that this is a population of the Nordic tribe. Oh, it says it's AI. Damn it.
I told you it looked like that Malfoy guy.
Damn it.
Have you ever
Well, that's over with.
Have you ever listened to the Bird deal?
Admiral Byrd?
Yes. Have you listened to that?
No.
That's a very interesting. You can search on it. It's Robert Byrd, I think was his name, right? Mm-hmm. Admiral Robert Byrd, and he was a 3-star general, maybe 2-star general.
Like that. He was an admiral.
An admiral.
Or maybe they're saying this is AI generated to throw us off the scent.
Anyways, he was an admiral, and he talks about taking a B-29 or something and flies it into Antarctica,
up there.
in Antarctica, and they get him a tractor beam, and it sucks him in, and he lands, and this guy comes out that looks like Dolph Lundgren, I guess, and tells him about they're not happy with the United States and the world dicking around with nuclear weapons, and to not do that stuff, blah, 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 and he gets to fly. But he said when he went into land there, that when he went from the cold, that they could see woolly mammoths, and then they could see, like, landed in the jungle with Pretty Lake and all this stuff. It's a pretty interesting podcast. I mean, this guy was a big time, I don't know if he fell off a rocker and hit his head or if he's telling the truth, but they took away all of his clearance. They wouldn't let him talk no more to nobody.
Was
pretty
he a
interesting.
flat earther?
I don't think he was a flat earther, but that flat earther would kind of pull into that deal.
You would have to be.
I would think, if you're going to be on that deal. But anyways, I've got a pilot that flies for Delta that is fixing to retire. Anyways, he's going to come on the podcast. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff.
I want to know the flight patterns while they fly some of them like they do.
We went over that before. I know you don't listen to our podcast usually, but
Yeah.
it's time. It saves. If you put it on a flat Earth map, it looks more
Out of the way.
Yeah.
direct. No, our way looks out of the way.
Yeah.
But then when you put it on the flat Earth map, it looks
Right.
like a flat,
Yes.
like a flat
Yes.
trajectory. But
Yes.
the Earth is not flat.
Whenever you look at like a flight from here to Spain, and then like they got to fly over Newfoundland, doesn't
Why
make
do they
much
do
sense.
that?
Why wouldn't you just go over North Carolina and out over? But whenever the Earth is flat, straight shot. So, damn it, that was AI generated. Did I
Earth is
tell
not
you
flat.
what I fell for? I fell for that hook, line, and sinker.
But
Just
anyways, disclosure day.
Okay, yeah.
What's it about?
It's
Aliens.
about aliens. It's about a guy that works. I missed the first 15 minutes of the movie, but I got there and they were chasing him, and he had all the downloaded information. Basically, he was going to release it, but there was a faction of people that didn't want him to release it because of what it might do to the religious people.
So is that the whole reason you think then is because of religion?
That was in this movie.
So they're worried that the evangelicals are going to be an uproar because it contradicts the Bible
It contradicts
somehow.
the Bible, but there's one scene in there that goes to this, that talks to this nun, and his girlfriend is confessing to her about what she has, and that nun says in the Bible that he's everything on earth. Don't say anything about that he
Heaven
might
and
be
earth?
right, heaven and earth, the heavens. I mean, it makes you.
So is there ever any aliens in there in the movie?
Well, they got a video of different. They've got videos of the spacecrafts and aliens. I mean, I'm sure it's, just like what they're probably going to release. The government's going to release.
That's my problem with the whole thing is like I haven't seen a video that swayed me one way or the
Kind
other.
of like Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean it's all just like orbs in the sky. I'm still waiting, and maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see the alien bodies or whatever. Like, but that's what it's going to take for me to get. And I already believe it. Like, I believe in aliens. I believe in Bigfoot. But I haven't seen anything if I'm looking at it through a skeptic's mind, I've not seen any smoking gun that's like, yep, they're there.
When they show those videos from those airplanes and those things are going so fast and moving and stopping and going and stuff, it makes you wonder if they're unmanned crafts. Like it would throw the piss out of you if you're on
Right.
side, unless they got some kind of built-in gyroscope in them that keeps them level.
There's just so many fighter pilots that have come out, and like I couldn't keep up with whatever it was.
Yeah,
And then I lost it, and then it was behind me somehow, and then it was on top of me. It's like, so there's so many of those guys that have come out that I think it's credible.
Flying the most advanced aircraft that we have.
Right. Graham Hancock, I know you don't know who he is, but he basically studies ancient civilizations. He believes kind of what I was saying a few weeks ago, where the alien race is people that left Earth and are coming back now.
What made you think I don't know who Graham Hancock is? You kind of being an asshole kind of thing to start out
I
with.
just don't know if he's on your algorithm.
I mean, it just kind of hurts me that you would just, I'm below that. Like, oh, he won't know who that is.
That's Will Smith, ain't it? Hancock.
I just don't think that Graham Hancock is on your algorithm much.
You'll never know now.
But he thinks that these civilizations are people that left before
The flood.
the Ice Age, the flood, whatever. Because he looks at like the technology that we call them primitive people had, but it's knowledge that we can't figure out. Like we can't figure out the pyramids. We can't figure out a lot of the stuff that they had. So he believes that these are people that found a way off of this rock and are now coming back.
Does he say anything about Tartaria?
No,
Have you
I've not heard that. If he does,
Have you heard of that?
No.
That's a civilization supposedly where Russia is that has been deleted from
Oh, God
history.
dang.
What?
is it like Göbekli Tepe? Because that's another one of the civilizations that predates.
It's like a civilization that used to have giants and stuff in it.
Right.
Tony tried to explain this to me one day that they just deleted this from the history books.
Well, they're
I'm like,
deleting stuff from our history books.
If you believe in Goliath, then you got to believe that there were giants.
No,
if
no,
you
no,
believe
no,
in
no,
the Bible,
no. I'm not denying that part of the deal. Tony, go ahead and tell him what you told me.
Well, there's a civilization called Tartaria that's in Russia, and it has been deleted from some of the stuff that I had watched. I've searched it up on YouTube, and there's a lot of stuff that you can see about it.
And they were all big people?
Well, they had big people that was there, but a lot of these big buildings and stuff that have doors that are 20 foot tall, why were they built?
Right.
And a lot of these places that have these buildings, it's like the buildings were there and then the people came to that place before, how were they built? Who built them? The people came to different areas and occupied buildings that was there before they even got there.
Because I can tell you, we toured a plantation in Grand Cayman. I had to duck to get in the door.
Well, yeah, the little mine, there's little
Okay, but what he's saying, why are you going to have a door that's 20 foot big, that's 20 foot tall, if you don't have people that are walking through it? You're not just going to do that.
I'm not disagreeing on that part. He told me they just deleted it. I go, why? What was the reason for deleting it? That's what I don't understand.
Well, I don't either. That's why I was watching it, to try to learn more.
I mean, if David killed Goliath, they say, I can't remember how tall they said Goliath was, but he couldn't have been the only one.
I'm not denying that we had giants here. That part is not nothing I'm saying. I think there was giants here. I believe that part. I'm saying Tony just kept telling me they deleted it. I go, why'd they delete it? I'm too common sense on this deal. I want to know why they deleted it then. Tony said, well, they just deleted. You don't just delete shit.
I have no idea. I was trying to watch it to learn. It's called Tartaria.
But I want to know why they deleted this whole section of deal. It's kind of like Atlantis. No one's ever found Atlantis. I don't know if Atlantis ever existed. But if it was, people didn't try to delete it. We still talk about it.
He was 9'9".
Who was?
Goliath.
Was 9'9", okay.
He wasn't just an outlier.
Shaquille O'Neal's 7'6".
Type in what is Tartaria.
Tallest person in the world is 8'11".
Okay,
So he's a foot over them.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing that there's wasn't a giant.
You
that
have a
ever
problem
lived.
with the Bible, is what you Tar
Tartar.
Tartarian?
Yeah.
Taratarian? I don't think that's it. Refers to a pair of revered Hindu twin goddesses.
No, Tartaria.
Tartaria. Let me try to find
Hindu goddesses.
Tartaria civilization. See if it.
Tartaria.
I mean, we're talking about stuff hundreds of thousands of years ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. We just talked earlier in the podcast about just things that's happened in the last 20 years. It doesn't make sense, or 30 years.
Like 200 or 300 years ago.
No, that's what I'm saying. So look at the shit that's been pulled on us in the last 10 years.
No, I know.
I mean, and we're an advanced society compared to back then.
Maybe they don't want people to realize there was another civilization.
They're calling it fake, is what AI is saying. But if you're erasing it for a reason, then you're going to call it fake.
Right.
Conspiracy theorists point out to hundreds of old European maps from the 16th and 18th century that labels massive swaths of Central and Northeast Asia as Tartaria or Grand Tartaria, arguing this proves existence of a vast unified empire. Tartaria was simply a geographical catch-all term used by Europeans to describe the largely unknown regions of Central and Northern Asia, just as Africa was used to denote the entire continent rather than a single country. Tartaria was a geographical placeholder until surveying and cartography improved an accurate regional name like Siberia replaced it. That is what that says. But like you said, if they are going through great lengths to dispel something, you got to say it's fake. So I don't know. I have not seen anything about Tartaria though. But I have seen Göbekli Tepe, and like that civilization predates anything that we thought we knew about our early ancestors. Like I think it predates the cavemen.
Do you think we had a huge loss of of history, written history? I mean, we just had this big blank where we had the dinosaurs and they're gone, and then all of a sudden we got people writing on caves.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who don't even believe in dinosaurs.
Göbekli Tepe was 10,000 years BC.
Do you believe in dinosaurs?
Yeah.
I do too.
I don't have any reason not to.
There's a lot of people that believe that there really wasn't no dinosaurs. Somebody famous the other day, I saw that they didn't believe in the dinosaurs. I don't know how the hell they explain all the fossils and stuff. But like the pyramids. We're never going to know how the pyramids got there. You know, a lot of people say it's aliens. A lot of people say it was slave labor. I don't buy the slave labor deal.
I don't know.
I don't know where you got the rock for it at. I mean, I think those things are made out of limestone.
Are those pillars, do they go under the ground, or is it just the top of the pyramids?
That's, who knows?
What's that place in Wyoming? Devil's Tower?
Devil's Tower.
Is that a tree?
A lot of people think it's a big petrified tree. Mm-hmm. I've never seen. That's one place on my bucket list I'd like to see one day.
I lied. Cavemen died out 12,000 years ago. So Göbekli Tepe is 2,000 years younger.
So we are in year 2026. So was the Great Flood 2026 years ago? When was the Great Flood? No, that's when Christ was. When was the big flood? How many years ago was the flood? 4,000 years ago?
2000 BC.
So it would have been 4,000 years ago.
Yes.
That can answer why we've never found the Ark.
I thought they did on that mountain in Syria.
Yeah, I don't think that they've ever confirmed it. But 4,000 years, in the last 200 years, someone would notice a big ass Ark sitting on a mountainside somewhere. Now it's wood, so it's going to rot and things. So we're past that footprint. But I would think that if you could have still found some remnants 400 or 500 years ago, you'd still know where it was at. It's kind of like Stonehenge. We don't know what Stonehenge is. Is Stonehenge an alien thing? Or is that
right?
I mean, or is that the giants? That's a lot of heavy ass rock.
And I don't think they're native to wherever Stonehenge is.
Those stones aren't.
I think they.
It's kind of like the pyramids. What are the pyramids made? Are they made of limestone? I think.
I'm not sure what kind of stone they are.
I saw where it's against the law to fly drones around those things.
Right.
400 miles
is how far those stones from Stonehenge. See what the pyramids are made out of. They're made out of limestone.
Then they were.
Be a hell
Some of them were 30 tons. The larger iconic standing stones
at Stonehenge are.
Yeah, they were 20 miles away. And then some of the other stones were.
You're not going to get a bunch of slaves to throw them on their back and walk them down the road.
No, you can do a lot of block and tackle, but that's 30.
But isn't there supposed to be some type of a magnetic field right there where that's at?
I'm not sure.
It's another one of the mysteries the world will never know.
Just like the Grand Canyon.
That was made out of erosion.
You sure it wasn't an old copper mine?
Huh?
Yeah.
No. Have you been to the Grand Canyon ever?
Yeah.
When'd you go to it?
I flew over it a couple times.
Flying over it, and when you sit there and you look at that damn thing,
right,
and you see how big it is around there, it ain't no damn copper mine.
Hell of a copper mine.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Limestone for the internal core of the pyramid, and then granite for structural supports and chambers, and fine white limestone for their outer casing.
What's the closest any of those rocks are from the pyramid? I bet it's hundreds and hundreds of miles away.
The Grand Canyon?
Yeah. That's where it all come from. Do you know you could take every person that ever lived on Earth, ever, from the time start of the flood to today, and could put them in the Grand Canyon and still wouldn't fill it up?
Okay. The core blocks, the bulk of the pyramid, were quarried 400 meters away, quarter mile. Casing stones, the outer layer, were quarried in Tura, moved about 9 miles up the Nile. The granite blocks were quarried in Aswan and shipped down the Nile roughly 400 to 500 miles.
So how much do those rocks weigh? Okay, never mind. It don't matter.
It's a hell of a boat to go down the Nile.
That's what I was thinking too. So you're going to take let's say you took 10 of them on there. You're going to put 100 tons of these rocks on a raft.
4,000-year-old boat.
No.
25 to 80 tons each.
So if you put 10 of them,
the ones that were quarried 400 miles away.
Okay. So if you put 10 of them on one deal, you're going to have somewhere around 250 to 800 tons. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah. Well, you're going to only have one raft per stone, most likely.
Yeah. But where are you going to find a, okay, but an 80 tons, where are you going to find a ship that can hold 80 tons? I mean, I don't know what a raft today holds.
Don't get me lying.
Yeah, it's just one of the mysteries. We're never going to know about Stonehenge, and we're never going to know about the pyramids.
When those people that were in that picture of Trump, whenever they start talking to CNN, we will know.
That's right.
That's when we'll know.
If we just had a news flash from Fox News, it just come out and said that an alien craft just landed at the White House and people got out and walked in, what would you do?
Nothing.
What would you think was going to happen, though?
Nothing.
You don't think nothing would happen?
No.
Just out for a visit.
Yeah. Seeing what's going on. Seeing how the UFC fight went.
Bus of illegals or
No, I'm talking about.
What am I going to do about it?
But would you panic about your life?
No.
See, I wouldn't either. That's what gets me. Open it up and let people know. You know what? There's bad things all over the place. So if you're telling me that we've got these people that come down here every once in a while and they've done some nefarious actions in my lifetime of 58 years on here, I haven't noticed much. I don't pick up strict hitchhikers, so I'm not worried about getting stabbed in the middle of the road. If I was worried about them abducting me and I knew they were available, I might be a little nervous driving home from the lodge at night. But I just don't. I think that there's...
But didn't that senator come out and say, like, you're going to be shocked whenever we release who is like an alien hybrid?
That would bother me a little bit.
He said that, didn't he?
senator?
Yeah.
The guy from Kentucky.
Yeah, he said that.
Isn't it Kentucky? Burchett?
Paul? No, Burchett. It was Tom
Burchett.
Burchett. Yeah, he said that you would be so shocked at the people that are hybrids.
That are human alien hybrids.
I'll tell you what, I've been around some crazy ass women in my lifetime. I think they's little nut jobs.
But I mean, he said it. He's a
Yeah.
sitting congressman.
Yep.
I mean, you think he's lying? I mean, unless he's lying,
If you found out Jesse was half alien, what would you do?
I'd be for it.
You'd be okay with it?
Take me to your leader.
All right, let's go here. I go to the bathroom.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Thank you for
Peace.
joining us on
God
Conspiracy Corner.
See
Peace
ya.
out.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom. Go check out all of our great sponsors. Be sure to use our promo code at Higdon Outdoors. Big Honker is the promo code. We also have a promo code with Pacific Calls. It's BHP25, 25% off. Boss Shot Shells, Ducks Unlimited, Dirty Duck Coffee, Shin Gear, Looking Glass Podcast, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, and Cedar Run Decoys. Corey has a lot of cool stuff coming out, so check them out.